All right, welcome into the latest edition of the second half draft show. I'm your host, Juice, joined by Headley. No, Drew tonight. Drew's night off. We'll give him one night off. You understand what I'm saying? But we need to make sure he's back in the building. But Headley joining us this week, and Headley's going to get us started. He's going to get us started in this 2-round mock draft. Of course, we've been focusing on the mock drafts as we draw nearer and closer to draft season. But we haven't necessarily gotten your independent take on how this first round should go, Headley. So I really wanted to focus on the first round being your selections, through your mind's eye, how you think this thing should play out, and then we'll kind of tag team the second round, right? But certainly the first round is yours. The floor is yours. So let's get started.
Let's get it, man.
All right at the top, man, you got Chicago.
The kid already 5 shots. Night off. I don't know what he doing, man. Catching up on some sleep.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, man. Flesh and blood, man. Flesh and blood. So we'll give him a little, we'll give him cut him a little slack.
Yeah, man. I'm looking at the Chicago Bears, the number one pick. A lot of talk right here. What's going on? The conversation mainly around Justin Fields. What are they gonna do with Fields? Are we keeping Fields?
Right.
Drafting around him? We could trade down. Get some additional draft capital. Keep Justin Fields on your team. Or, I think it all depends on what the front office does. Are they going to bring in a new coaching staff, a new GM? Because if they do that, then they're going to want to. Yeah, they're going to want their quarterback. They're going to want their quarterback. Get a quarterback on that rookie deal, a fresh rookie deal. So I'm gonna go that route. I'm gonna say new coach, new GM. They're gonna go get their quarterback. Trade Justin Fields, maybe to the Falcons. Seattle. Whichever team needs a quarterback, we're gonna trade them. Get some additional day 2 picks. I think if they get a first round pick. Great, but I'm looking at probably a second round pick, third round pick, picks on day 2 for Justin Fields, and for the Chicago Bears, Caleb Williams. That's going to be the franchise quarterback. Is going to replace Justin Fields, and they got a similar skill set. These are guys that like to move outside the pocket. They take a little longer to get the ball out their hands. I think that's what kind of plagued Justin Fields' career so far. Just seeing it, getting rid of it quickly, hitting the playmakers. So, the new coaching staff is going to be really big for Caleb Williams to develop him, get the ball out of his hands quickly, just have a better design of the offense. Because it wasn't all on Justin Fields. It was also the offensive coordinator, the play calling, all of that kind of hampered Justin Fields. So let's get a good guy in there. There's a guy in the division. He wants about 15 million a year, but we'll see in Ben Johnson from Detroit, but
I don't know about that report, man. I don't know
he
about
won
that
15
report,
mil.
man. I'm not sure about the source on that one. But
Yeah.
What's going on, Mr. C. Prasky, D Kid checking in. Everybody who's tuned in, we appreciate you. What you say makes perfect sense, right? And as you mentioned, that there's been some mitigating factors there around Justin Fields. Offensive line is one of the big things that comes to mind. And then this is the first year he's had a legitimate number one receiver, right?
Yeah.
And you see when healthy, the numbers Fields has put up with DJ Moore in the lineup. You understand what I'm saying? I still think there's some ball security issues, but I believe in his talent. But I have to agree with you. If this organization, whether it be the GM, Ryan Poles, or the ownership group, whatever the case may be, the ownership, the family that owns the team, decide to move on from this head coach, I fully expect them to go in a different direction as far as quarterback. And Caleb Williams for us has been that guy consistently. All right. That takes us to New England.
Yeah, this one's an easy pick here. Caleb's off the board with number 1. The Patriots, Drake May. They're going to draft Drake May, the quarterback. We got to move on from Mac Jones. They're probably moving on from Bill Belichick. That's the reports there. So that's another team, new coordinator, new head coach, new quarterback. It just makes sense. So Drake May's the pick. They need to do something on offense. After picking Drake May, that 35th pick, we need to help out Drake May some more. Get a wide receiver right there. Because this offense has been anemic for some time now, ever since Tom Brady left.
For sure. And I don't know, as talented as Drake May is, we talk about his ceiling. Obviously, he's in the conversation to be the first overall pick, first quarterback off the board. I don't expect him to to work as efficiently as Tom Brady. Now, he does work very well within the confines of the offense, and that's the argument. That's the argument in favor of Caleb Williams. But they certainly have to do a better job surrounding him with weapons. And I think the offensive line has deteriorated as well. The Patriots aren't necessarily winning up front on a consistent basis, so they have a lot of work to do. But Drake made the pick here to New England. Takes us to Arizona, the Cardinals.
Yeah, if the draft falls this way, Arizona will be ecstatic. They have their quarterback in Kyler Murray. We just need the receiver, man. Marvin Harrison Jr. To me, he's the best prospect in the entire class. You pair him with a Michael Wilson. We need Michael Wilson to stay healthy. Trey McBride, the tight end. Love how they're using him in that offense. Mm-hmm. And we get Kyler Murray another weapon. This guy, Marvin Harris, he's a pro already. He plays the game, prototypical size. Some may question the speed and the yards after the catchability. But when you can win with your route running, you can separate at the next level. I think that's the most important trait for a wide receiver. He does that better than anybody in the class. Probably anybody in a while. We've had some good wide receiver classes, but he's better than I had Garrett Wilson, my wide receiver one a couple of years ago. I'll have Marvin Harrison over him. So and last season, who was the wide receiver one last year?
It's coming in this season?
No, the one from last season.
That was Garrett Wilson.
No, that was 2 years ago, I thought.
That was 2 years ago?
Yeah, that's 2 years ago. Garrett Wilson's he's been here 2 years now.
No, Garrett Wilson's his rookie year was last year, bro.
Yeah, who's our wide receiver one coming into this year?
This year we were all over the place. You had who'd you have? You
had
Addison.
It was Addison.
You had Addison and Drew had Flowers.
And Zay Flowers. Yeah. So to me he's better than all of those receivers over the last 2 years.
Yeah, Garrett Wilson was better than all those guys. So yeah, I'm with you there. Okay. Marvin Harrison to Arizona. Obviously, that makes a lot of sense. DK made a good point here. Marvin Harrison Jr. might be the one guy that gives the Bears at the top of the draft a little pause right here. They may be entertaining some things to kind of consider. Well, is there a way to trade out if we're going to stick with Fields, right? Is Marvin Harrison Jr. worth sticking with Fields? You understand what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That's kind of the thought process there. So I just don't see him getting past Arizona at 3. I'm not sure Arizona would be willing to move up. So that's kind of where the rubber meets the road there, unless they're comfortable pivoting to Malik Neighbors. You know what I'm saying? Because I do think they need to continue to improve their receiver room, right? I haven't seen anything from Darnell Mooney. He and Fields just haven't been on the same page this year, and they got some younger guys behind that I'm not sure are going to be, ready for the bright lights at their varsity necessarily. So right now you have DJ Moore, you have Cole Kmet. They could be in play. They could be in play for a receiver with one of these 2 first-round picks, but certainly Arizona. In fact, the need is so big in Arizona. I think Michael Wilson is the only receiver under contract in Arizona at the end of this season. So huge need here. And to get arguably the best prospect in the class, I mean, it's a no-brainer. That takes us to the Commanders with the 4th overall pick.
Yeah, it's going to be offensive line here with Washington. They have some things on defense they need to address, but, we've been saying it for a while, man. This class is filled with offensive players at the top. You got the quarterbacks, you got Marvin Harrison Jr., and you got these 2 offensive tackles, Olu Fashanu and Joe Alt. It depends on the flavor they like. I think the safer guy will be a Joe Alt if they choose to go that direction. But I'm gonna go with the upside guy. I'm gonna go with Olu Fashanu. He just declared for this draft. Just the movement ability, the power, the hands. He has a lot of traits that you probably can't pass up. I know Joe Alt. I think technically he's a little better than Olu Fashanu coming in, but the ceiling, man, is just so high for Olu, man. This guy's been probably Drew said he was a top offensive tackle last year, and he decided to stay in school. So, to me, he's at the top of this draft board here as the best offensive tackle in the class.
Yeah, I give Alt the edge in terms of run blocking, but I don't think Fashanu is far off. And as you mentioned, I think just because of the sheer athleticism that he possesses, on top of really good technique, let's not discount. I'm not saying that you are, but I don't want the audience to think that you're discounting his technique. Fashanu would have been the top tackle a season ago, right? And we've talked about it previously. When you're had that top billing and you decide to come back to school, you really can only go down, right?
Yeah,
People
nitpicking.
well, nitpick. That's what we start to do. We start to really nitpick, and we're over hypercritical of certain things. That isn't to say that Alt hasn't closed that gap. He certainly is playing at a very, very high level, and actually happens to be a few months younger than Fashion. That was one of the things we were kind of really excited about with Fashion, is that he's still young. He's still a baby. He's still learning. You know what I mean? Alt's even younger. So I think with both those tackles, you can't really go wrong. But I certainly understand why Fashanu would be the preferred tackle in this instance. Chicago back on the clock here.
Yeah, we're gonna protect Caleb. We could go wide receiver in Malik Neighbors or Roma Dunze, but it's all about protecting Caleb. The Chicago Bears have an issue on the offensive line, especially the left side. They drafted Darnell Wright last season, the right tackle. So we're gonna get the bookend tackle with Joe Alt here on the left side, and hopefully we could have a plan for Caleb Williams. Try to keep him in his pocket, get the ball in his hands quickly. If not, he has the legs to escape the pocket and make plays down the field to DJ Moore. And the Bears, they don't have a second round pick. They traded that away.
Yeah, I think that was associated with the Montez
Panthers.
Sweat deal, if I'm not
Oh,
mistaken.
Montez Sweat. Oh, yeah, the Montez Sweat
Yeah.
deal. So, we'll probably have to address, the wide receiver position probably round 3. But, let's protect Caleb Williams and go with Joe Alt here with the 5th overall pick.
I need to double check that. That actually seems off to me. I thought they had another second round pick. I might be mistaken, but apparently mock draft database not reflecting a second round selection for the Bears right now. That takes us to D-Kit's Giants. And, D-Kit was in the comments and he was like, Drake May, as talented as he is, maybe not quite as inspiring as a guy that we're really high on, our quarterback 3, and it's not Jaden Daniels, right? I think because of the incredible season Jaden Daniels has had, Heisman campaign, he has certainly skyrocketed up the board, right? And many feel that he is quarterback 3. But there's something about Michael Penix, and I talked about this last week with Drew. The toughness, the intangibles. I think there's a mental toughness that he possesses that these other quarterbacks don't, right? You can obviously make the argument that they're more talented. There's certain elements of Drake May's game, Caleb Williams' game, even Jaden Daniels' game that you like more than Michael Penix. But just in terms of dealing with adversity, of course, he has a pretty lengthy injury history, but he's been healthy the last couple of seasons. I described him as nails, man. Like, he's tough, bro. He's tough. And Laser Penix, he doesn't flinch. You understand what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And even if he's not having an A type of game, he still finds a way. You know what I mean? He still finds a way to make the plays when they're needed the most. So I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of Penix, and like I said, I give him the nod over Jaden Daniels because of some of the intangibles. I think there isn't any throw he can't make. I think he's actually a better athlete than we give him credit for. But obviously, he's been focusing on refining his craft and becoming a pocket passer, a true pocket passer. You understand what I'm saying? And you shared a stat with me.
Yeah, I was about to go there.
Today. Yeah. I'd like you to share that with the audience because I think it's very significant.
Yeah, I've seen the stats from PFF. Pass attempt percentage when moved off your spot, because a lot of people kind of knock Michael Penix due to lack of athleticism.
Right.
But he led the nation with 71% pass attempt percentage when moved off his spot. So he's not just a statue back there hitting guys. He's moving. He has functional mobility. To get to the edges and deliver the football, because he's not really looking to run. He's buying a little more time, pocket mechanics, moving up, sliding to left or right, and then hitting his receivers, man. So, that's that. Yeah, it stood out to me because it was like, that was a knock. He doesn't have the athleticism these other guys have, but he has just enough athleticism to escape the pocket and throw the ball downfield, man. So, yeah, to me, the pick is Michael Penix Jr. He's moving down this board, the mock draft simulator board. He's the 29th. He's behind Bo Nix now.
Yeah,
I think that's a mistake right there, man. We have him over Jaden Daniels, who's ranked 8 right now. He's our quarterback 3, and I think he's very close to Drake May also. I think he could be quarterback 2. I could argue that he's better than Drake May coming out. So yeah, Michael Penix is my guy, man. Laser Penix to New York.
Again, I understand some trepidation associated with the injury history. I do, right? But if those medicals check out, man, like there's no debate for me, right? And again, I really like Daniels. Daniels has played his way into the first round, the top half of the first round, to be perfectly frank. But Again, there's something about Daniels. There's certain things, as you mentioned, that particular stat doesn't show up in the box score, right? And that's the name of the game. The name of the game isn't necessarily getting out and scrambling and off platform. All that's great, but that's the cherry on top, right? It's truly sliding, moving. We call it a superpower when we talk about Joe Burrow, and Joe Burrow was the first overall pick, and he don't have the arm talent of Michael Penix. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not suggesting that Penix is quite as good at maneuvering in the pocket, but clearly that stat illustrates that he is more than capable of it. So, yeah, I'm excited about whoever gets Michael Penix. And before we move on, of course, I'm going to make the pick here, but before we move on to the Jets, let's just see Prasky made a point here. He said too many Seahawks fans love him as a Husky, but don't want him as a Seahawk, right? And I don't really get it either.
Yeah,
I don't get it either, right? I've heard maybe the argument that, they prefer Jaden Daniels because of the fact that Seattle wants to run the football. Okay, well, in the red zone read type things, you know what I'm saying? Run pass option. I can understand it from that perspective, but I don't know, man. This team historically has been very regional in the way that they scout and they kind of prioritize guys in that part of the country. And I can't make a truly compelling case to say, hey, listen, we're out on Michael Penix outside of perhaps the injury history. You understand what I'm saying? Like he has to be part of the equation, right? That's the conversation. Are we going with Jaden Daniels? Or are we going with Michael Penix? That would be my thought process, assuming that Seattle's in position or any quarterback needy team is in position to draft either of those players. All right. So we talked about the New York Giants. Let's talk about the New York Jets here, Headley. What do you do? This is, I think, we talk about the Washington Commanders pick being where the draft gets interesting. I think it actually gets really interesting here with the Jets because they got a lot of needs, man.
Yeah, and I think it's mostly on the offensive side of the football. And it's a good position in this draft to have because, like I said, it's stacked on the offensive side. I think they could go many different directions. They could go grab the offensive lineman of their choice, whether it's Latham or Fuaga. But to me, the two best guys left on the board is right there at the top. It's Brock Bowers and Malik Neighbors, and I think that's the debate there, man. Do they go get the playmaking tight end, or they go get another guy opposite Garrett Wilson? It's tough. It's tough because I probably have Brock Bowers graded a little higher than Malik Neighbors overall, but that wide receiver position is the alpha position over the tight end position in this league. So I'm probably going to side with Malik Neighbors here, pair him with Garrett Wilson. One more year of Aaron Rodgers. Hopefully he stays healthy. Because that defense is ready to go. I know that we spoke about it a little bit that they're having a little issues now, but I just think that too much is asked of them right now.
I agree.
Offense is not doing great. And everything is on their shoulder. And, once the offense starts producing, getting some yards, I think the defense is just fine in New York. So we're going to bolster the offense and grab Malik Neighbors.
I'm not mad at it. I think either of those players work really well in New York. D-Kid mentioned offensive line is an issue. And
it is.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. If I'm looking at Penix and Jaden Daniels, I might do it, bro. I might do it.
You grab the quarterback?
I might grab the quarterback, bro. I mean, it really depends on how you feel about Zach Wilson. If you're out on Zach Wilson, I go get the quarterback. Even if you're expecting Aaron Rodgers next year, go get the quarterback, bro.
And then mold him.
Yeah. Right? That gives you an opportunity to let the young quarterback, I mean, you get another offseason to build that offensive line up. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know. That's to me, again, that has to be part of the equation. You have to consider that. You cannot go into this draft, in my mind, and say, listen, we're good at quarterback. I don't think so. I don't think that's a good idea if you're Robert Saleh. You understand what I'm saying? Like, especially if you want to give yourself a little bit more time. Certainly Aaron Rodgers is the bridge, but we don't know how much longer Aaron Rodgers is going to play. We don't know if his body's going to hold up. You understand what I'm saying? So I would strongly consider Penix or Daniels if I were the Jets as well. All right, so Neighbors to the Jets. That takes us to the Bolts. Obviously, they fired their head coach and GM, clean house. More and more reports are coming out of Los Angeles, and there was a complete disconnect between Staley and his players and stuff. And, he's a coordinator. You know what I mean? I don't know that he's necessarily a leader of men. That's really what it's coming down to. So, D-Kid. I can't do it, man.
Jefferson.
I need Mike White
I
or
think he's
something.
starting this week too. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I can't do it. All right. Who do you have for the Chargers here, Headley?
Man, it's tough because this is a position where the first defensive player could come off the board because the Chargers they struggle on the defensive side of the football. I know your boy Khalil Mack is having a great year. But he's 32 years old. He has
He's
I
not
think he
going
has
to be
like
back.
yeah, he's
He's
not
not
going
going
to
to
be
be back.
back. Joey Bosa, the injury concern. I like what he did last season, drafting Thule to go along that defensive line. So this is a spot where he could grab the first defensive player. That boy Brock Bowers is still on the board. Brock Bowers is, to me, he's a top 3 guy in this entire class. So he's
Right.
kind of falling right now. It's that tight end position. Yeah, this one's
So
tough. You got
you think
Latu
you
on the
might just
board.
go with the board as opposed to need?
Yeah, man.
Let's
Just more talent.
prioritize the board. Yeah,
Because we talk about,
they need pass catchers too now. It's
that's what
not
I'm
as if they
saying.
don't need pass catchers.
We
Yeah,
talk about this offense, man, and Keenan Allen's getting older. Quentin Johnson hasn't really hit the ground running. So they need some wide receivers. Mike Williams is hurt every year. Man, let's because I'm looking at if they go defense, man. To me, it's Latu. That's the top edge rusher for me. Dallas Turner would be a little nice piece also, power edge, to replace Khalil Mack.
and Verse. I mean, to me, those are the three.
Those are the three. Those are the three
Three
edges.
guys that you would consider here if you're going pass rusher.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
I know
defense.
they have a need at corner too. They got a need at corner too, but it depends on how strong do you feel about them.
No, I'm grabbing the edges all day over the first corner off the board.
Gotcha.
It's either Bowers or Latu. That's where I'm thinking right now. Let's do it, man. Let's go get Bowers, man. It's an offensive league, bro. It's an offensive league. Let's put up some points. Justin Herbert, another weapon. Like I said, Keenan Allen's getting older. Mike Williams is always hurt. Quentin Johnson hasn't really hit the ground running. So we're gonna go Herbert to Bowers. Yeah, Mr. C. Prasty got it right there. Herbert to Bowers. The new Rivers and Gates for the Chargers, man. Let's do it.
All right. I mean, I expect Los Angeles to score points. I don't know. I don't know that they're going to be able to maintain a lead. They haven't demonstrated the ability to do that this year for sure. So, but I understand. I understand if you kind of move away from the realm of need and you focus on just your board and your top prospects. Bowers is the best player on the board at this juncture. You understand what I'm saying? Latu would be a close second there for me, but certainly I get it. I get it. I would be hard pressed. I'd be hard pressed to pass up Bowers as well. But I think personally I would go with Latu. It's bad, bro. It's bad.
Nah, it is.
It's bad. But I think to your point, if you're thinking about this Chargers team and you're not necessarily expecting to turn it around immediately, and you try to solve for one thing, which might be the offensive side of the ball, or you go get Bowers and the rest of your draft is focused on the defense, whatever the case may be. So tough decision, but I certainly understand it.
Yeah, I went with the talent. Latu's a talent also, but like I said, Bowers is a top 3 guy for me in this class, and we're gonna try to go get the defensive guys later. We've seen what the Rams have done on the defensive side of the ball, specifically in day 2, day 3. So sure. maybe the Chargers could get some of that LA love over there.
All right, you got the Titans and then the Falcons rounding out the top 10. What are you going to do here at 9th overall for Tennessee?
I'm gonna go get a wide receiver. I know offensive line is an issue. Jalen Duncan's a guy I liked last season.
Sure.
Let's develop him some more. Peter Skoronski, their first round pick. So I think that Duncan, Skoronski on the left side, they just have to fix their right side a little bit. But I think the wide receiver is a bigger need right now. Hopkins is old. Treylon Burks is always hurt. And Will Levis, man, we got to get a guy for Will Levis, stretch the field. So Roma Dunze will be the pick here for the Tennessee Titans.
All right. And I think we've been pretty firm on this as far as our top 3. Maybe the order changes at 2 and 3, but it's clearly Marvin Harrison Jr., Neighbors, and Roma Dunze. And I think we might be higher on Roma Dunze than the consensus. You understand what I'm saying? I think people sleeping on Odunze. I know Mr. C. Prasky isn't, but I think people are definitely sleeping on him. Atlanta, Headley's Falcons.
Yeah.
All right. I think the kid that that Latu might actually fall out of the top 10 in this mock draft. Believe it
Yeah,
or not.
he's going to. He's going to because I saved the pick for these boys. We're gonna go get Jaden Daniels to Hotlanta. There you go, D Kit, man. Him and Bijan in the backfield. Falcons gonna lead the league in rushing because Jaden Daniels is gonna run. Bijan's gonna run. Algier's gonna run. Everybody's gonna run the ball, man. We're not passing the ball in Atlanta, man. Arthur Smith's there another year, and we're going to lead the league in rushing. Love Jaden Daniels. I think he's improved a lot ever since he first busted on the scene against Florida State the season ago. In that first game, he just improved as a passer, layering balls, intermediate, deep. Man, it's a thing of beauty, man, and he deserved that Heisman. I was a Michael Penix for Heisman, but what he does with his legs, man, they had to go with Jaden Daniels for the Heisman, and Atlanta gets their quarterback here with the 10th overall pick.
Yeah, Al Paul, you're right. Atlanta was half stepping. You don't think it was ever a possibility?
I don't think it was a possibility. I don't think Lamar was ever leaving Baltimore. I think they were kind of posturing.
Sure.
So I know they were in on Deshaun Watson also. I'm glad we didn't make that move. But I would love to get Lamar Jackson, but I don't think that Ravens was.
You don't think it was realistic? You don't think it was?
I don't think so.
Quite realistic. Okay, fair enough. Shout out Al Paul. What's going on, man? D Kit says Latu to Green Bay. Is that what it is? Latu and Rashawn Gary?
I think I Van Ness too. I know D Kit's on low.
He don't like that.
Come on, man. He hasn't played that much snaps.
You got to give it time. You got to give it time.
Give it some time, man. Give it some time. But let me see the tackles before who's left because they need an offensive lineman.
There's a lot of them.
Mims, Fuaga.
You know how I feel about offensive line being the most important position group, but with Latu staring me in the face, I'm probably grabbing him, and then I would prioritize that tackle position day 2. I mean, you got the 38th and 42nd overall picks, and it's a pretty deep class at the tackle position. It's not as deep as edge, and you got an opportunity to get the best edge in the class. That's the way I look at it.
So we get a tackle later on for Green Bay because there's a lot of good tackles. It's deep. Yeah, you're right. You're right on that. It's deeper at tackle. So yeah, let's go. Latu. DK Wiley. Massages.
Oh man. Hey man, they might be upset, man. There's money to be made. You feel me? It's business out here, D-Kid. Latu.
Yeah, man, Latu, man. This is a guy. He was on my radar from last season. I know the Masters are catching up to him now, but he stood out. The very first time I seen him at UCLA and the pass rushing skill set with his hands, it was just impressive to me. I know he had the neck injury, so the medicals is very big for Latu, but man, this guy's a natural pass rusher, man. All day, all night, he could get after the passer. He's decent against the run also. He's not a slouch there. Could drop back in coverage. He could do it all, man. So to me, he's the best defensive player in this class. He's going number 11 to Green Bay.
First defensive player off the board here. So the first 10 picks on the offensive side of the ball. I do expect that trend to change here in rapid succession. Now that the top quarterbacks, the quarterbacks we kind of have pegged for the first round are off the board. One of the things that I found interesting is, like you said, I think the analysts, the national analysts, are really starting to get on board with Latu now, right? Because I distinctly remember interacting with a follower of mine on Twitter, or rather, individual I follow, Ian Cummings, and he writes for Pro Football Network, right? He's a mainstay in Mobile. He covers the combine. He's an NFL draft analyst. And I remember asking him just to get his thoughts, you know what I'm saying, early in the season, around the time we were doing summer scouting and stuff. And he had Latu as like a top 40 guy, right? And then I saw him more recently. He said, yeah, he's top 15. You know what I mean? So, you know, I mean, we're not necessarily bragging on that end, man, but we tried to tell him. We tried to show him a vibe that, you know what I'm saying, that Latu is that guy, man. And obviously this season he's really taking it up a notch to another level. And certainly, I think he's deserving of being the first defensive player off the board for sure. Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, I'm looking at it, man. We've always mocked a quarterback here to the Vegas, but the top 4 guys are off the board right now. JJ McCarthy probably be the next guy for me. Let me go to quarterback real quick.
Sure.
Let me check it out. Oh, you got Bo Nix, JJ McCarthy. Those are the next two guys up. Man, what do you think about Aiden O'Connell? He had that big game last week. Do you think he's a potential starter for over there in Las Vegas?
I mean, I think the Raiders would have to do a lot of work to be able to consistently win with O'Connell, but I think he certainly is replacement level. You know what I'm saying? I think he could have a fairly lengthy NFL career. Can he develop into a upper echelon star? Maybe not upper echelon, but top half of the league starter? Maybe. I'm not convinced of it, but maybe.
Okay.
But I think he's a good arm to have, especially if you just want to continue to round out this roster. He certainly is better than Jimmy Garoppolo, better than, I prefer Aiden O'Connell over Derek Carr, even though Derek Carr, lit it up last night. I still think I would prefer to roll out Aiden O'Connell. So, yeah, I'm not betting my future on him, but if I wouldn't force the quarterback issue if that's really what you're trying to get at.
Yeah, at number 12, it'll be tough. There's a possibility for the Raiders to trade up, in front of a team like Atlanta, to grab that quarterback, either Jaden Daniels or Penix, whoever kind of falls in that range. But
or you get in the field sweepstakes, as Mr. Ciparasky and D. Kidder mentioned.
That's another option.
Seattle and Vegas could be jockeying for position there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely, man. I'm gonna go to the defensive side of the football. I'm gonna go get an edge. I'm gonna go get an edge for these boys. Because they drafted Tyree Wilson for edge. I like Tyree Wilson more on the inside. So I'm gonna go get Jared Verse to go with Max Crosby on the edge. We're gonna move Tyree Wilson inside, and we're gonna get after the quarterback in Las Vegas.
All right.
It's another team that might need a quarterback.
Yeah, there's a few of them. Here's the deal with this team, though, is that they're locked into Derek Carr for another season or two. They're locked in. Like, it just fiscally, they have committed to Derek Carr. There's no wiggle room there. Derek Carr will be the starter in New Orleans next year and likely in 2025 as well.
Yeah, man. We're gonna go. We run on edges right now because Cam Jordan's getting a little older.
Sure.
They drafted Brazil last season. Fauski they drafted also. But I think this guy instantly plug and play starter for them. I'm gonna go with Dallas Turner. I think they prefer the bigger edges over there in New Orleans. That's what they've shown in the past. Because I like Chop Robinson over Dallas Turner, but some teams might be out on Chop because of the size. And I think Dallas Turner fits the bill right there for New Orleans, number 13.
Okay. So we go out west to Denver now with a couple edges off the board. In fact, the last, 3 picks?
Three, yep.
All defensive ends, all edges, outside linebacker, edge, depending on, odd or even man front.
Yeah, I'm checking out the line roster right now. I like Denver's edges, the young edges. Benito, I think he's hurt right now, but Browning, Jonathan Cooper, I like their edges there. So I'm thinking on the inside, defensive tackle, probably a better way for them to go. But they're running a 3-4 over there, right?
It's an odd man front. I know you were thinking
Jerzon, yeah,
but it's an odd man front. Yeah, in
that.
our last mock draft, I traded down because of that. If I'm not mistaken, I traded down because it just while Jerzon can do it, he can do 5. He can be the 5 technique. He can be 4-eye. You can occasionally line him up over the center if you want to. If you want to get cute, you know what I mean. But I know collectively we really want to see him be a 3 technique. We want to see him, one gap, get upfield and penetrate. So it may be one of those instances where you just like the player so much that you bring him in. You understand what I'm saying? But I think this is a spot where Denver may consider trading down or getting a bookend to your boy Pastor Tang. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's outside of the realm of possibility as well.
Yeah, Fabian Moreau is the other corner over there. I like what the McMillan guy. I like that nickel. He's been showing up a lot over there in Denver.
Yeah, you're right about that, Al Paul. I don't know what New Orleans was thinking. I think they may have thought that their supporting cast was good enough to kind of and Carr could just make a handful of plays and manage, but they got old real quick. Saints got old real quick, and they're stuck with him for a couple of seasons.
Man, Keon Coleman is a little enticing also over there because of we expect them to move on from Judy. I know they got Marvin Williams and Courtland Sutton, but they could use a guy in the 3 wide receiver set. But I think they could get that a little later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's too soon for Keon Coleman for my blood, bro. It's too
yeah.
soon for my blood.
I think this is kind of where he's going to live.
Yeah.
Like 15, 20, 14 to 20, right there in the first round, the middle of the first round. But I'm gonna go get that corner. I'm gonna go get that
Okay.
corner. Bookend Pat Surtain, and we're gonna get another Alabama guy.
All right.
Kool-Aid McKinstry. Denver's defense. I think that's the strength of their football team, so that they're gonna get stronger on defense. And then we could address the offensive side of the ball later on in the draft.
All right. Sound like a plan. We got Mississippi Praski's
Hey,
Seahawks.
DK, man.
Hey, I'm with him. I'm with him though.
Nah,
I'm with him.
We can't do that, bro.
I'm with him, bro. I'm with him, bro. Hey, it's more risk. I think there's more risk, but I'm with it, bro.
You with it? That's size.
Yeah, you know what keeps on coming to my mind though. You know what keeps we kind of date ourselves a little. Maybe not date ourselves, but kind of go back a little bit. I think about my only concern here is Kevin White, bro.
Kevin White
had the size. 1 year.
1 year.
Size, speed.
Yeah.
I know injuries kind of, but I think Xavier is actually a little bit more polished than Kevin White, bro. But Kevin White was 4.35, bro.
Yeah, I love Kevin White coming out.
That's what comes to mind. That's what comes to mind for me. Yeah.
Seattle Seahawks next on the board.
DK said Coleman opted out of the bowl game, so
everybody opted out.
No more.
Bro, the whole team opted out, bro.
Yeah, all your transfers, bro. All your transfers said we out of here, bro. We came here for the championship run, so we out of here, bro.
Nah, that makes sense, bro. Don't risk an injury in a meaningless game, man. I'm with them. Seattle Seahawks. Man, we talked about a guy yesterday, man, T'Vondre Sweat, is it too early for them to get him? I like the fit here. Seattle's run defense has been struggling this season, and Sweat if we talk about the best hands in the class, man, it's Latu and Sweat. Sweat is 360 pounds.
Yeah.
But just got hands, bro. The swim move and the defensive tackle at 360 pounds it's the rip move. He got all those hand moves.
Mm-hmm.
Quick. He's very quick. He's not gonna get after the passer like that because he doesn't really have the burst. But
close necessarily, but yeah.
But he could affect the passer. He's a guy that could push the lineman back into the quarterback's lap, let the quarterback, move to the left or the right for the edges to clean up. But man, they would have to kind of move back. I'm looking at the same thing because I'm just not sure how high teams are going to draft Sweat. He's a terrific player, run defender, but 15 might be a little bit too high for a guy that they say could be a 2-down player at the next level. But it's enticing, man. But let me check out Seattle real quick. If it's not Sweat.
I'm just thinking about like who were the last interior defensive linemen who weren't necessarily known for affecting the passer that went not even this early, but just in the first round, right?
To me, it's Mozzie Smith was last year.
Right.
He's a guy that didn't really affect the passer. He went 26 to the Cowboys.
Sure.
But he struggled a little bit. I think he's coming along now. But Mozzie Smith.
Okay. No, you're right. You're right. I think there's an expectation that Mozzie is more effective in terms of being a pass rusher, though.
Yeah.
And then you would expect of Sweat. Right.
Yeah. So you're talking about guys
Dexter
like
Lawrence. There it is. There it is, DK. There it is.
Oh, Dexter Lawrence.
There it is. That's the one right there.
That's the one.
That's the one. Yeah, I mean, listen. If you get in Dexter Lawrence, and by the way, I think Sweat accepted an invite to the Senior Bowl. I think DK, you may have asked about Rome Odunze earlier. I don't know. I don't think he has accepted an invite to this point. But if Sweat is in that or develops, let me put it that way, develops, because Dexter Lawrence wasn't Dexter Lawrence day one, right? If he develops into a Dexter Lawrence, he certainly is worth this pick. But this is the area. This is the area that Dexter Lawrence was selected in, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm still looking at Seattle. It's a team that could go grab the quarterback. But like I said, it might be too early for Bo Nix, JJ McCarthy here. I like the two young tackles.
Mm-hmm.
They
Lucas
do
and
need some help
Cross.
on the interior offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at the interior offensive line, they could use some help there. They can add another edge. Edges would be another position of need. You got Chop Robinson right there. Um, yeah, I think Chop. I think I'm gonna go Chop Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on with Reek Woolen, man? I know he hasn't been playing a lot. I think it's a tackling going over there at the cornerback position. He balled out last year. So I'm not sure how Seattle feels about their secondary. They could use a safety. Might be a little too early for
They
safety.
have no linebackers in the contract next year. None.
Yeah, might be a little too early for linebackers though.
It might be, but you know what? Seattle doesn't seem to care about that.
Yeah.
That Jordan Brooks pick, they don't care about that, man.
A guy I watched recently, Peyton Wilson from NC State. That
Mm-hmm.
guy he flies around.
I'm telling you.
He's a guy to see ball, get ball. I think he fit perfectly in this Pete Carroll system. Um, I just don't know
Health.
if I would. I don't
Health
know if
with
I want to
Woolen.
get. He's a bump shoulder can't tackle. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a tackling. It's a tackling for Reek, man. He might have to go back to Tyreek. Go back to Tyreek, man, because he was balling when he was Tyreek. He was balling. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Chop, man. I'm gonna go Chop Robinson. Get an
Right.
edge. Yeah, man. To me, he's the either Latu verse and then Chop Robinson. He's the third best edge to me. Just the burst off the snap, the closing ability. He's a guy you kind of move around. You can rush him over the guard, over the center. Just a motor, man. Relentless motor, man. One of the best pass rushers in the class.
All right. Chop Robinson to Seattle. We reached the midway point of this first round. You got Pittsburgh on the clock, and of course, things are unraveling quickly here in Pittsburgh. What do you do to kind of stem the tide, stop the bleeding here in Pittsburgh? What do you do in the first round?
I think cornerback position is a need for Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I think offensive line. I think they could go grab a offensive lineman, a tackle. So I think
Yep.
tackle and corner. I
Corner.
think those are the two top needs for Pittsburgh. You got Nate Wiggins on the board here, and then the top tackle left is you got. It's a lot of tackles. There's a lot
Yeah.
of tackles in this
A
class,
lot of them.
man.
Mm-hmm.
Latham, Mims, Fuaga.
You kick Broderick Jones, your first round pick from last year, over to the left side, and you run it, and you run it. So certainly understand those are foundational positions too, right? These are the types of positions that are coveted early in drafts. So I certainly understand that.
It's Pittsburgh. They run a more man than zone,
No,
more
I think
man
it's more
concept, more zone.
well. Historically, it's been more zone, but
Yeah,
this year, you got Joey Porter Jr. now. They may
yeah,
want to run more man. They may want to run more man, but they can play zone because of T.J. Watt, because of Highsmith, because it can
yeah.
affect the quarterback. DK, Cam, but it's not Cam Hayward. It's the your boy. What's your boy's name? Casey Hampton. That's what you're looking for.
Maybe they got Keanu Benton.
They do have Benton be balling too,
Benton's a
bro.
beast, bro.
Benton be balling, bro.
Benton's a beast. I'm gonna go corner. I'm gonna go Nate Wiggins. I'm gonna go Nate Wiggins here, corner for Pittsburgh. Pair him with Joey Porter Jr. Like you said,
I like it.
Highsmith, T.J. Watt getting after the passer. I think Wiggins is perfect for that zone scheme.
Yeah.
Getting his hands on the football, take it the distance. So let's get opposite Joey Porter, and we're gonna add Nate Wiggins to the bunch.
All right. Arizona Cardinals back on the clock here. Third overall, you took Marvin Harrison Jr. Obviously, no surprise there. They have the 17th overall pick as well. I believe this is the Texans pick.
Okay.
What do you do for an encore here in the first round for Arizona?
Offensive line.
Hmm.
I've been saying, let's
I
get the offensive
know how
line
you
right
feel.
in
This is trying to
Arizona.
move Paris Johnson to the left and move off of Humphreys. That's what
Yeah,
you're planning
man.
on doing. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna grab J.C. Latham, the right tackle there for Alabama. Like I said, move Paris to the left, and we're protecting Kyler Murray. We're gonna invest a lot into the offensive side of the football in
Okay.
Arizona, and we're gonna try to win that division next year with a healthy Kyler Murray.
Yeah, there's a lot of work to be done on the defensive side of the ball, but Headley's approach here is listen, surround Kyler. Make it quarterback friendly for Kyler. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. Buffalo on the clock here.
Buffalo Bills. I think this team needs trenches. I know we talked about the corner position and the wide receiver position also. They definitely could improve at the wide receiver position. Let me see who the wide receivers on the board left. Keon Coleman. Yeah, Keon will be the next guy here. Then Deion Spencer Cyrus. The edges, Leonard Floyd. Yeah, they could use another edge also. I like Epinesa. He was my guy coming out of Iowa.
I think he's in a contract year, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Oh, is he?
Yeah, I think
Off his
so.
rookie deal. His rookie deal's up.
Yeah.
Let me see the defensive line. They got Ed Oliver, so I wouldn't get Zerzon. Let me see the edge. That power edge, that Berlin Trice in Buffalo. Yeah, it's not the Berlin Trice or Keon Coleman. Those are the two guys I'm looking at. They got the 49th pick. I think we get a receiver later on. Yeah, let's go get Berlin Trice. Let's go get Berlin Trice. You said Epinesa is on last year his contract. Leonard Floyd, Von Miller's older. Rousseau to me is better as an inside player. Coming after him. So yeah, let's go get Berlin Trice, the power edge. I know some people how they feel about him, and that's just using him in space. You know, you don't want to really use Berlin Trice in space. You kind of want to rush him off the edge or play games or stunts up front. He's very strong, very physical. Once he gets that speed and power going, man, he's going to affect the quarterback. And I think that's what Buffalo needs, man. A guy that can affect the quarterback.
Yeah, I think perhaps because you don't necessarily get the versatility, Drew and I have knocked Trice a little bit, but I think particularly here with Buffalo, they want their edges going forward, right?
Yeah,
they want to affect the quarterback.
They're
not doing that. You understand what I'm saying? So I kind of like it. I kind of like it from that perspective. I don't love the value, but I certainly understand it. Tampa Bay, 19th overall. Drew's Bucks.
The Bucks. He still like his offensive line over there?
You know, I've taken a good hard look at it since he's been defending it. They can always stand to improve, right? But with Ryan Jensen back, I think they got a strong five. I think they got a solid five. Let me put it that way. And I think they got a solid five with Ryan Jensen back. Luke Gadecki at right tackle has been much better than him playing guard a season ago. So Aaron Steeney goes to the bench, becomes that swing offensive lineman. So they're competent. They're certainly competent up front.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the defensive side of the ball. They drafted Cansey, got Vita VA. They can use an edge. Shaquille Barrett's get a little older. I know they need an inside linebacker too. The issue they're having over there with Devin White.
Yeah.
I like what Yaya has been doing over there. Yaya Diaby from Louisville.
The kid said.
They need a safety too.
I think that's the direction we went in. I think
safety?
Drew drafted Cam Kitchens, and I think that's Cooper DeJean.
Yeah, I think Cam Kitchens would be really excellent on this defense. Pair him with Winfield. Winfield can play that strong safety, and Kitchens can play over the top. Yeah, let's go Cam Kitchens. Let's go give the youth some love here. Top safety in the class. Just the ball skills from him, man. He single high is kind of a lost art, in the league. Ain't no Ed Reeds out there no more. You know who's keeping it alive a little bit? My boy Jesse Bates from Atlanta.
Jesse Bates, yeah,
he's doing a very good job.
He's probably the best as a center fielder. He's probably the best currently.
Yeah. And I think Cam Kitchens is a similar type player, man. He come up and tackle. He's a short tackler. He just got to stop. He just got to stop taking so much risk. He gambles a lot, man. Take the risk. And he broke coverages. He's seen it 2 straight years now. Yeah. So he just got to play. Play some more football. Sound football, bro.
Yeah. Speaking of safeties, I love to talk safeties. That boy Kyle Hamilton, bro.
Beast.
We knew he was gonna be really good, bro. We knew it. You knew it. And then of course the first year he's kind of feeling his way through it, and I think for some folks the doubt started to creep in, and of course the light bulb has gone off, and he's already in the conversation for best safety in the league. He's already in the conversation,
That's
bro.
my guy. Remember in that class I had him and Sauce. Sauce was my number 1 prospect, and Kyle Hamilton was my number 2 prospect in that class. So the Ravens definitely got a steal. What it was, the 17th overall pick,
15,
something like that.
something
15 in the middle.
something like
Yeah,
15. Yeah,
they got a steal with that one.
You know how the Ravens do. Minnesota on the clock.
Minnesota, man. I think they need a defense, man. I think corner. I think corner is a position. I know you got your boy Andrew Booth over there.
They like your boy from USC, Blackman. They like him a lot.
Oh, Mekhi Blackman, USC.
I'm not a huge fan, but he's actually.
Oh no, you know what?
He's
Edge.
Well.
They need an edge.
Edge is a bigger.
Yeah,
name.
I like one of them. I like one of them, but Daniil Hunter. Yeah. Daniil Hunter might be on his way out. Yeah. Who's the edges over there? Tuamalu. Yeah, he could fit in that system. Jack Sawyer. Yeah, let's go get JT. Let's get JT Tuamalu, edge from Ohio State. Let's pair him with Wanham. Let's get that to the quarterback. I know I'm looking at corner, but if it's a corner or edge, I always like to go edge. I want to affect the passer with my edges, and so let's go get my boy JT.
All right, JT it is. Rams. The surging Rams are on the clock.
Oh, yeah, they're surging, man. I like what they got going on. They have drafted. That's a team that has drafted really well over the last 2 or 3 years. They haven't had really that first-round pick guy, but, man, what they've done on day 2 has been incredible with Steve Avila, the linebacker Ernest Jones, Byron
Young.
Byron Young. Yeah, it was 2 Byron Youngs. Byron Young from Tennessee.
Yep.
Kobe Turner next to Aaron Donald. These are all day 2 picks, man. They've killed the day 3 guys. You can go day 3 with Puka and Kyron Williams in the 5th round. It's just been ridiculous what they've been doing. So they finally get a first-round pick here. They could go grab a corner. I know Kobe Durant's been playing good ball for them. But I think the back end. Is what was they could improve in LA. You got Nubin Bowler. Who's the corners out there? Cooper Dijon. Dijon is more of he could play nickel, he could play safety. Man, you got Terrion Arnold, more of a true corner. Lassiter. Let's go get Terrion Arnold for these boys, man. Let's go get another second Alabama corner off the board. Pair him. I like what Kobe Durant's doing over there on the right corner. So let's put Arnold at left and let's get it, man, because man, what they've done, like I said, what they've done with Kobe Turner, Byron Young, Ernest Jones, they're playing really good football over there. But I think the back end needs a little improvement. So let's go get Terrion Arnold.
All right, Terrion Arnold to the Rams. That takes us to the Colts with the 22nd overall pick.
Indianapolis Colts. A-Rich should be back next year. Jonathan Taylor, very interested to see them two in the backfield together next season. Michael Pittman, Josh Downs, I like the receivers right there. Offensive line is a position where, they were one of the best offensive lines in the league like 3 years ago. Quentin Nelson's still over there, but man, I want to improve this offensive line, man, in Indianapolis. So let's check out the offensive line position. Jim Bob Cooter, the coordinator. You see the offensive tackle. You got Mims, Talise, Fuaga, Graham Barton. That's a guy that's moving up the board. But I'm looking more tackles. So it's either Mims or Fuaga. We're trying to run the football, man. Let's go get Talise. Let's go get Talise, man. Fuaga, Oregon State. Love his run blocking prowess. Plays through the whistle. You see this guy throwing guys out the club, physical. So we're gonna get that. Put him next to Quentin Nelson, or on the right side. Doesn't matter where he plays, but we're gonna be downhill with Indianapolis with Jonathan Taylor and Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, I think this is a good point here by Mr. C. Praskin, and I think it really places an emphasis on why your medical staff has to be top of the line, right? When it comes to the combine and it comes to the private workouts and stuff, really getting a feel, getting an understanding of what type of injuries and the lasting effects that they have. Because by every advanced metric, Puka Nacua is one of the top receivers in the class. By every advanced metric. You understand what I'm saying? Like, like there's no, I mean, he was the top receiver in the class in quite a few advanced metrics. So I certainly understand why you might go in a different direction as far as who was among your top maybe 2-3 receivers. But Puka was putting up numbers, man. He's putting up numbers, man. And unfortunately, he didn't get to finish the Senior Bowl.
Senior Bowl,
You know
he
what
left
I'm
at
saying?
that day one.
Because I think if he had been able to play the duration of the Senior Bowl throughout the practices and the game, he might have gotten that Michael Wilson bump. You understand what I'm saying? I think that's the direction his draft stock would have went in, but unfortunately he wasn't able to. But certainly, I agree with you, Mr. C. Prasky. Jordan Morgan should be in the conversation as far as first round turn of the round. I think he should definitely be in the conversation. I'm with you there.
Yeah, not just Latu he played well against. Even Braylon Trice. I know Braylon Trice beat him for a sack with a power move, but he handled him pretty well, man. I think just more technique. His hands, I think, it needs a little bit more work. He's got to be careful of oversetting. Also, he's quick. Great feet, but sometimes he oversets and gets beat to the inside. So there's a couple of things there to watch with Jordan Morgan.
All right, you got the Jacksonville Jaguars on the clock here, Duval County.
Yeah, we're gonna get Keon Coleman off the board. He's still on the board right there in Jacksonville. I know the corner position is a need for these guys, but I think Trevor Lawrence needs another weapon, a big play weapon at that, a guy that can win above the rim. His guys are Calvin Ridley and Christian Kirk. Both on the shorter side. So let's get a guy that he can win above the rim, a red zone threat for Trevor Lawrence and Keon Coleman.
Okay. Cincinnati's up next, and certainly you would expect them to be in the market for a receiver. Is there any other position that you think that Cincinnati may need to prioritize in the first round?
They are. Jonah Williams, I guess he's the right tackle there now.
Yeah.
Opposite Orlando Brown. We don't expect them to bring back T. Higgins or maybe Tyler Boyd. So, wide receiver is a big need for these guys. I think they like their secondary. They got some good young players out there.
The young guys are going to continue to.
Miles Murphy, when he got his opportunity, he was putting up some work over there with Trey Hendrickson. Maybe interior defensive line.
I was thinking about that, right? Because it's Reeder and Hill, but I think at least one of them is in the final year of their deal.
Yeah, I think it's a good spot for Zerjan.
Let's get
after the quarterback, man. Let's go get after the quarterback.
I understand, the emphasis at receiver, but yeah, if Newton's on the board here for Cincinnati, I'd be hard pressed to pass him up. Kansas City on the clock. I like that pick a lot there. Newton to Cincinnati.
The Chiefs, man. The Chiefs is a team that needs a wide receiver for Patrick Mahomes. They just dropping a lot of passes, man. Travis Kelce's getting a little older, and the boy from Florida, man, boy Tony.
Oh, bro, come on, man. The Florida players, man. It's always the Florida players, bro.
It is. I like what Rasheed Rice been doing over there, though.
Oh yeah.
And then the tackle position, I don't think Donovan Smith's going to be there another year. They got to move on from him. So it really depends on the development of Wanya Morris, a guy from Oklahoma we liked last season, how quickly they could develop him. How about Mitchell? What's Mitchell? Adonai? Oh, big play. Yeah.
I like that one. I like that
Adonai.
one. Yeah, if I'm going receiver here, it's Mitchell, Leggett, and maybe Troy Franklin is part of the conversation, considering what they like to do in Kansas City, specifically for Kansas City. Those are the three receivers I'll be looking at. But I think your point regarding Donovan Smith, it requires some thought. That tackle position.
Yeah, definitely. Like, how quickly is Wanya Morris going to be ready by next season?
They want that one back, Al Paul. They would definitely take that one back. I mean, even if you go running back, you got to pick Jonathan Taylor, man. You
Yeah,
got
that
to
was
pick Jonathan
that was our
Taylor,
running
bro.
back one. That was our running back
Yes,
one.
bro.
Mm-hmm. I like
And
CEH too,
I
though.
know. I mean, I'm not hating CEH. I think
But
CEH is a solid player, but
yeah,
no way, bro. I'm not taking him
yeah,
over Jonathan Taylor, bro. No way, no chance, bro.
no
Can't
chance.
do it.
Yeah, to me right here is either Adonai Mitchell or Xavier Leggett. I'm gonna side with Mitchell. I'm gonna side with Mitchell right now
Okay,
because I think he's a better route runner right now than
sure.
Leggett. He tracks the football really well, big play weapon. Because we can use Rashee Rice on short, intermediate, and then we have Mitchell to take the top off the defense. I think they'll complement each other really well over there in Kansas City.
Yeah, I know. DK's been pushing this guy, Jermaine
I
Burton,
was
man.
big on him.
I think he's definitely in the conversation. Day two. You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily see. It's a deep receiver class. That's one thing that you have to consider. But I think he's definitely in the day two conversation for sure.
Yeah, when I was watching his Georgia tape, I'm like, and then he transferred to
Oh
Bama.
yeah,
I was like, woof. Him and
yeah,
Bryce Young, it's
yeah.
gonna be problems. And he didn't really, hit the ground running over there. He kind of played better this season than he did last
Mm-hmm.
season. But he's a big play weapon, has the size, has the speed, so has definitely a lot of traits you're looking for at the wide receiver position.
D'Amico's Texans are on the clock.
Nico, you know what he likes to do, man. He likes to build it from up front. But Will Anderson, love Grenard, what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they don't need an edge right now. Defensive tackle, Sheldon Rankins, Stingley at corners. They do need a corner. They do need a corner. Yeah, I'm looking at the roster right now. Yeah. Let's look at the cornerback position. Houston, you got Kamar Lassiter, Kellen King. Oh, my boy Josh Newton. They're sleeping on him, man. They're sleeping on him. CJ Stroud. I'm looking at the offensive line also. I
Yeah,
think they can improve that right tackle position
but I
opposite
think
Tunsil.
I think they get your boy back over there, right?
Who that?
So you got Tunsil, and then his name's escaping me.
Oh, Titus Howard.
Titus, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's my thought process anyway, right?
Yeah, he wasn't on his depth chart I'm looking at. Yeah, I forgot about him. Yeah, Titus Howard over there. Yeah, let's go defense. D'Amico, he wants to build the defense. I'm a Newton guy. I like what Lassiter does. I think Lassiter has that click and close ability. But I think Newton is that sticky lockdown corner on the outside. So I side with Josh Newton there, man. So we're gonna go get Josh Newton in Houston, man. Let's just
All
do it,
right,
bro.
Josh Newton. Yeah, again, I think that's a player that we're going to be higher on than the consensus collectively at College Potato General Manager. But to your point, then your analysis, Josh Newton, he provides a bit more from a man-to-man perspective than Lassiter. Detroit could obviously use a Lassiter.
Yeah, they need a corner also.
Mm-hmm.
I love their safeties. Branch is kind of a nickel safety.
Right.
Kirby Joseph's always around the football. They signed Cam Sutton to a 1-year deal. So yeah, cornerback's definitely a position in need here. Love the offensive side of the football. Jameson Williams, I call him Williamson. Remember that? Jameson Williamson from back in the days. Jameson Williams, he just got to develop some more. Him and St. Brown will make an excellent duo. They have one of the best offensive lines in football. Sam Laporta, beast at the tight end position. So offensively, they're great. It's just the defensive side of the football we got to improve. It's either an edge or a corner. They can even use a D tackle also. They just need to get after the quarterback. Let me see. Got Leonard Taylor, Michael Hall, and Chris Jenkins. I think Chris Jenkins is a sleeper in this class. Edge. Oh, he's so.
I know. Dorless.
Let me see corner before
you go Dorless.
Yeah.
The kids say you got. There seems to be a bias against Cooper DeJean.
It's not really a bias. It's just he's not a cornerback. He's not going to be playing. I don't think he's going to be an outside corner at the next level. He's going to be a heck of a football player, whether he's a nickel corner or a safety.
Oh man! So I'm sure our audience has heard about the racial matchup, black team versus the white team.
Oh man, yeah. They need Cooper DeJean. They need Cooper.
They need Cooper DeJean, bro.
On that team.
Cooper gonna play a boundary corner for that team, bro.
Bro, bro. The matchups are good until it gets to the secondary.
Right.
Especially the corner position.
Yes.
You know, because you got Christian McCaffrey, you got
Joe
Burrow, you got all the tight ends, bro. Offensive
Cooper
line.
Kupp, you got offensive line.
You can run a Hutchinson out there.
You can rush the passer, TJ Watt and them boys. Yeah.
Hendrickson.
Yeah.
But then when it gets to the corner position,
oh man.
That's when it gets bad. That's when it gets bad, bro. Yeah.
That boy will come to say, yo, Christian McCaffrey gonna have to play both sides, bro. You're gonna have to play defense too.
You gotta do something, bro. But I'm looking at edge or corner. I'm looking at Brandon Dorless or corner.
Oh yeah, Max gonna go crazy. Max gonna go crazy.
Oh yeah, Max Crosby too. Yeah, he's probably the top one.
It's just the corner position, bro.
It's just the corner position because they can go Logan Wilson at the linebacker at the second level. You know, see Riley Moss going
Singleton. What's that, Riley Moss like that?
He might not be ready.
I like Riley Moss. Riley Moss
too, but he might not be ready to go against Justin Jefferson and them boys.
Nah. Tyreek, bro, come on, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad, bro. Let me see corner. I'm looking at the corner position too for Detroit. Oh yeah, the thing with we talking about DeJean. He's a nickel corner or safety. I don't think
it's the Brian Branch thing. It's the Brian Branch thing here with respect to Cooper.
You know, Quinyon Mitchell got a little hive cup going for him. Kalen King's a guy. I'm still riding Kalen King. I know it was tough against Marvin Harrison Jr. But the tape before, I loved what he did from the slot and the outside position. I think Lassiter got the size, man. I'm gonna go Kamari Lassiter. Over there in Detroit.
All right. Went with the size there over Kalen King. I understand it. Philly on the clock here, 28th overall. What's going on with Philly, man?
Man, they say Marcus Mariota got to start, bro. They say they got to bench Jalen. That's what they talking about over there in Philly. Not in Philly. That's what
your boy.
That's what ESPN talking about.
Yeah. No. That was NFL Network. That was
Carr.
That was Carr, bro.
Yeah, he's been saying a lot of ridiculous stuff for a while. Remember when he had Derek Carr as a top 5 quarterback because it's his brother? Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, I remember, bro. Still employed, still gainfully employed.
It's called outrage marketing.
DK, your boy said that Kyle Hamilton would be on the white team because he light skinned and he played at Notre Dame. So he qualifies. Excuse me. for the white team, man. So there you go. You got your safety, Harrison Smith. You got your safeties covered.
There you go.
What you got for Philly here, Headley?
Man, I'm looking at the defensive side of the football. I think them young corners.
Coaches matter. Coaches matter, bro.
Oh yeah.
Coaches matter, man. I'm telling you.
They'll be running the wing T. I know Eli Ricks and Ringo, they've been getting a lot more playing time of late. I think those two might be the corners of the future. Sidney Brown's a young safety also. So, Nolan Smith, Jalen Carter, they got a lot of young defensive players, bro. And maybe they go try to get the offensive side of the football. I know that's where kind of their strength is on the offensive side of the football. Man, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. They don't got no week.
I think you have to think ahead a little bit, right?
That's what I'm thinking about. Yeah, trying to think ahead.
What the second level of the defense is something that late first round I would be willing to consider it. And in fact, in mock drafts, I've taken Trotter, I've taken Edgerrin Cooper, the top linebackers from my perspective. But I certainly understand why you wouldn't want to go linebacker early, right? And Howie Roseman is not going to go linebacker early. He's just not. I like your young corners. But to me, you can never have enough of those guys. You understand what I'm saying?
More competition, right?
Exactly. And then the other thing is you're expecting Nolan Smith to take a step. Sweat's not playing at the same level he was previously. Hassan Reddick is still a guy, capital GUI. Brandon Graham has to retire at some point. They moved off of Derek Barnett, so that rotation might need a little bit more teeth to it. And then there's a concern about Lane Johnson, whether or not how long he's going to play. You understand what I'm saying? So, even though it's like the Cam Jurgens pick, right? He didn't start immediately. Jason Kelsey came back. They're just kind of making sure that the cupboard's full when guys start to effectively age out and retire.
Yeah. You know where I'm gonna go, bro? I'm gonna go with that off-ball linebacker, and it's not gonna be Jeremiah Trotter to the Eagles. I really like what I'm seeing from Peyton Wilson from NC State. He can fly around the field. He can actually rush the passer as well if you want him to do so. So yeah, Peyton Wilson. They got him 97th right here. Nah, they got to move him up, man. I know you guys, Edgerrin Cooper, Jeremiah Trotter, but Peyton Wilson's really showed me something. Got to stay healthy. But that's the pick here for Philadelphia.
All right. Marina says not gonna like it. She's not gonna like it.
Oh yeah, what's she saying? What's she like?
She likes edge and tackle. She likes edge and tackle. Right, and I understand. I understand. What you're thinking of is who can help me
right now,
day one. Yeah, I certainly understand that. So I want Wilson for the Giants, Headley. It's a done deal, DK. Miami, Fins on the clock.
The Fins. The offensive line, they've been playing a little better. I know that was the big issue over there in Miami. Man, you got Mims still on the board for you right there if you want them. Defensive line, oh my God, Dorn is still on the board. You got Ramsey with Xavier Howard. Holland, that's a really good young safety over there in Miami. Let's go. Let me see the edge. I think we got a lot of
Chubb. Phillips got the injury.
That's what I was thinking about, the Jalen Phillips injury. And Christian Wilkins on the interior. Man, we might have to go offensive line. We might have to still go offensive line, man. Like a Graham Barton right here.
Yeah, Barton, as DK mentioned, is tailor-made for that zone, that outside zone.
You're right. Yeah, DK read my mind, man. Let's go get Graham Barton, man. Physical, movement ability. He can play all along the offensive line. So if you got an injury or you want to move him to the tackle, to the guard, to the center, I think you do all of it. He kind of remind me of who was that the Tampa Bay drafted last season? We saw him at the Senior Bowl. Cody Mock, another guy that could play all along the offensive line. So
the versatility is the same. Barton's a better athlete. Barton's a better athlete for sure. All right, Dallas on the clock here, 30th overall. What do you do for Dallas?
I'm gonna go offensive line. I'm gonna go offensive line here for the Cowboys. You got Amarius Mims.
Fa'utanu.
Troy Fa'utanu from Washington. He offers versatility. I think Mims is a guy though, man. Mims is just the potential, the ceiling, the talent. He's big. He can move. He got injured last season, but I think he's a plug and play starter. And Dallas could be versatile with the offensive line. What they're doing with Tyler Smith. I think they should move him outside, and then have Mims on the other side.
You think so? I think an ideal situation is that you leave Smith at guard.
Yeah.
Right.
And then who the tackles?
You draft the tackle. I think you still got to roll out Terrence Steele. He has
Steele at their outside.
I think you roll out Terrence Steele.
Yeah.
Because Smith looks like the real deal at guard, bro. Yeah. I think he'd be okay at tackle, but he looks at home at guard, and I think that's the way I kind of viewed it coming in when he was drafted. But certainly he has the ability and you could provide the flexibility to flex him out in the tackle and then have a bookend or even address the interior of the offensive line. So a couple different directions you can go with.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Mims, man. I'm gonna take the size. I'm gonna take the size there for Dallas.
All right, Amarius Mims to Dallas. San Francisco on the clock. 2 more picks here in the first round.
Man, they got the MVP over there, man. Brock Purdy doing big things, man. I know that they're lobbying for Christian McCaffrey to win the MVP as well. My boy Debo, Ayuk. They got all my guys over here. Debo and Ayuk. Those are 2 guys I was high on coming out. Even George Kittle, that's another guy who's high on coming
Oh
out.
yeah, that's true.
I
That's true.
think offensive line still could improve over there in San
I agree.
Francisco. You got Troy Fatuna. I said it wrong again. Fa'uta'u. You
Yes.
got Kingsley Suo-Matala. I think Kingsley fits them. I like that nastiness from Kingsley. Moving to the second level, physical. Needs a running back. Christian McCaffrey can't play forever, right? Can't play forever. Let's go get Kingsley. Let's go get Kingsley, man.
All
I
right.
like Kingsley, bro. I've been high on Kingsley for a while now, and I just love the physicality and the grittiness that he plays with.
All right. And the last pick here in the first round, Headley's independent first round is the Baltimore Ravens.
Baltimore Ravens, man, I think they could use it. I think they could use another edge, but I want to surround him with Lamar with another receiver. And we've been mocking him here for a while, and Xavier Legette, man, Xavier Legette, the big receiver over there. Put him with Zay Flowers, and you got your X, right here, and Legette. Zay Flowers can play the Z, and because Odell Beckham, he can't play forever. He's getting a little older, injury prone. So let's go get Lamar another receiver.
All right, that wraps up the first round, and that takes us to Carolina. So of course, Carolina doesn't have their first round selection after trading up to draft
Bryce
Young. Bryce,
yeah,
one of those B names, Bryce Young. My thought process here is you got to help him. It depends on how you want to go about helping him. Are we protecting him, or are we going to get him a receiver to try to help protect him? Right. That offensive line has been terrible, bro. It's been awful. But of course, the defense is sitting on everything. They're squatting on everything. They're not afraid of anybody running past them as well. So what do you do here with the 33rd overall pick?
I've mocked him here before, man, and I think Xavier Worthy might be, one of the fastest, if not the fastest receiver in this class. I think he's a 4.3 guy, and he also could win quickly. It's not just, just a speed deep. I think he's, could win quickly off the line of scrimmage. You could do a lot of different things with him. And Mingo is a guy that when we watched him at Ole Miss, he was stacking defenders. He was going deep. He was the big play threat. And they're not really using him in that capacity.
They can't. They can't though.
They can't block.
Here's the thing about Mingo, right? And I actually seen some life from him these last couple of weeks. Of course, he's a young player. One. So you got to give him some time to develop. But he has that linear speed. You understand what I'm saying? He's not twitchy. He's not in and out of his breaks like that. He's a stretch the field kind of guy. Not with just track speed necessarily, but as you mentioned, he can consistently stack defensive backs. At least he demonstrated that at Ole Miss, and I've seen his confidence grow a little bit here in recent weeks. He's part of the solution, but they can't protect.
Yeah,
they can't protect. Even if they wanted to try to get vertical to Mingo,
they can't.
They don't have time.
Yeah.
So I like where your head's at as far as Worthy getting open quickly, right?
Yeah. They can use him as a guy, short, intermediate. It's just a guy that is just another guy that defenses have to pay attention to, because nothing's really working over there in Carolina. They can't block. Like you said, they can't go deep because they can't protect it. So why don't we get it? So you don't think maybe get an offensive tackle like a John Morgan?
Yeah, I'm completely open to the idea of going offensive line as well, right?
Yeah.
I mean, both positions are deep, but it really is how do you want to proceed with addressing it? And it's going to be contingent upon what you do in free agency as well, right? They're going to be Mike Williams will be out there, I would imagine. T. Higgins is expected to be out there. Like I think they could probably get an X, right? They could probably get a viable X in free agency, but it really depends. It really depends on how you view these receivers stacked up against the tackle, right? D-Kid, as far as Ibuka, I think he actually does present the skill set that they need in Carolina. I'm not sure he's coming out. It wasn't the banner year that I think he was anticipating. The only question is the quarterback situation, and I know they're in the portal. I know Aaron Norland is coming in as part of their draft class, whatever the case may be. But I'm not sure what Ibuka's plans are, and that's the thing about Worthy too. Worthy has an injury. I don't think he's going to be playing in these playoffs. I'm not sure he's going to come out either.
Okay, that would change a lot over there.
Yeah.
But if you saying, okay, let's go get a play money in free agency, go get one of these top tier wide receivers, put him with your boy from Ole Miss from last season, and let's go get an offensive lineman, because offensive line is still stacked right here. You got a Tyler Guyton, Patrick Paul, Jordan Morgan, and Troy from Washington, bro. So I like all four of those guys, bro.
All right, give me your preferred selection here, especially if we're planning on moving Icky to guard. Let's say that we're moving Icky to guard,
and we need a left tackle.
Yeah,
I think Jordan Morgan. I think Jordan Morgan would be a guy over there in Arizona.
I think this is a good name here too, D-Kid. That's exactly what they need. That's exactly what they need. Yeah. But the Jordan Morgan pick here makes a lot of sense to me, because I think it's a force plus modifier as far as I'm concerned. Icky's going to be a better player at guard than he is at tackle, right? And then, of course, you're bolstering your tackle position and guard position with this particular selection. So I think it's the right thing to do. It's not sexy, but I do think it's the right thing to do here. All right, that takes us to Arizona. You selected Marvin Harrison Jr. and J.C. Latham with the first two selections. What do you follow up that with here with the 34th overall pick?
We got to go defense. It's time to address the defensive side of the football. My guy Redorless is still on the board. Cooper DeJean's a guy, a versatile guy, playmaker over there on the defensive side of the football. I think he's a first round guy. So you get a guy like that in the second round. It's kind of like the Brian Branch pick all over again.
Sure.
Where Branch was a first round talent. Somehow he fell to the second round for Detroit. Oh, Lennon Taylor's another guy too. That name just popped up right there from Miami. But let's get Cooper DeJean. Let's get the versatility with Cooper DeJean.
I like the DeJean
play
selection.
Safety, nickel corner. Yeah.
And this particular defense is going to be a lot of zone elements as well. So I think he'd be an immediate impact player here for Arizona. All right, New England. You mentioned at the top that they need to obviously surround Drake May with weapons. So who is that weapon?
You got Ibuka, Xavier Worthy, Troy Franklin, Brian Thomas Jr. Man, look, I like for this offense, man, because you need a playmaker. You need somebody. Man, Troy Franklin's a good name over here for these boys. Someone that could go deep. Brian Thomas is also a guy that has the size and the speed.
A lot of different flavors here at the receiver position, man. Malachi Corley, Tez Walker.
Malachi.
Yeah.
Malachi. That'll be a nice guy over here in New England also.
You're right, D-Kid. A lot of inside out in terms of passing game, and then of course they're gonna leverage their tight ends.
Yeah, I'm thinking playmaker, man. Let's go Malachi Corley. Let's go get the playmaker over there in New England. They just need some juice on offense, man. He provides a lot of juice for those guys.
All right. Commanders. Got a couple picks here coming up. You started with Fashanu. I think they got a lot of work to do on the defensive side of the ball, for sure. Right?
They just traded both the edges.
Exactly. And their secondary looks abysmal.
Yeah, you got Kellen King.
Yeah.
Denzel Burke.
Mitchell.
Kellen Carson.
Yeah.
I like Cam Hart. Yeah.
We got our boy way down here.
Yeah, they hate two of our boys.
Yeah.
Two of our boys down there, bro. We got Jabbar Muhammad. I think that guy's an excellent guy. And Ricardo Hallman. Yeah. Muhammad and Hallman, man. Two guys I like, man. Yeah, DK, you got it, man. That's the guy. That's the name I was eyeing right there for Washington. You just lost Montez Sweat. You lost your other boy Chase Young. Let's go get Brandon Dorless along that defensive line.
All right. I'm not mad at it. Yeah, DK. Yeah, Restrepo might be the guy for New England. He might be the guy. As you mentioned, they love their slot receivers. And I wouldn't be shocked, especially if Bill Belichick isn't there. Even if Belichick is there, because he took Tyquan Thornton in the second round, right? I wouldn't be shocked if they go Franklin. And Franklin is definitely a better receiver than Thornton in my eyes. Giants. Oh, this is easy, right here.
Yeah,
We're going Troy.
yeah.
This is easy.
Offensive line. Yep. That's a guy that can play inside and outside. Whether it's guard or tackle. I think he's a guard at the next level. I think you put him right next to Andrew Thomas on that left side. JMS is a center we really like. I think this Giants offensive line, man, is developing. Let's go add Troy. No.
Got it. Green Bay. Say you need a corner here, man.
Corner for Green Bay?
That's what they say. I think it's tackle
time.
Not
a tackle? Yeah. I'm thinking tackle also.
Tackle time. Yeah.
Tyler Guyton right here.
Tanu.
I'm never gonna get it, man. Tanu. Okay, I got it. I gotta do the ooh. It's the ooh. Ooh. And then you got another one right here. See? It's too much different phonetics, bro. See, Pressy got that one. You Kit got a different one.
Fortuna. Oh. Nah, I like
do some research.
It's Mississippi Praskies. It's Mississippi Praskies.
Yeah. Tanu. Yeah. Okay, I got the ooh.
All right.
Yeah, I'll pick up Zach
Tom.
Yeah, I like Tyler Guyton over there from Oklahoma. A lot of upside, a lot of talent. Can move really well. He's just big, strong, physical. I think he'll fit right there in Green Bay. He could move also in that zone scheme.
All right. Chargers. Bowers in the first round. Of course, there was some consternation here whether or not you should prioritize the defensive side of the ball, but you got to go defense here at this point.
Yeah. It could be an edge. It could be a corner.
They got literally anything. Literally anything. Bro.
I was just about to say that. Pretty much anything. Who's the best defensive player on the board left right now?
Some would argue that Tavondre Sweat is the best defensive player on the board currently.
That'll help their run defense a lot.
Yeah.
Tyler
Nubin, Kalen King, certainly. If you're a Quinion Mitchell guy, he's available. Second level, I think Diane Henley, he moves into the starting lineup next year. So
let's go get big Tavondre, bro.
You want to get Tavondre? Let's do it.
Yeah, this gonna help a lot of things out. This is the guy that you need two guys on him. He's gonna free up the guys on the second level, whether it be Eric Kendricks, Thule, whoever it is, Henley. So I think he's just a guy he's like the glue piece. He's gonna make everything else better and make everything else stick for the LA Chargers.
All right. Tennessee, you went Roma Dunze in the first round. I think it actually works out really well. You got the likes of Patrick Paul, Cooper Beebe, Van Pran, Jackson Powers Johnson, Mahogany, Donovan Jackson. There's a lot of options here for Tennessee.
Yeah. We think they could use interior or on the outside.
Yeah. Either way.
Patrick Paul, Cooper Beebe, big physical guy. Let me see
Vrabel type.
See the
interior.
Van Pran, Powers Johnson. Van Pran looks like a guy, bro. I know we were talking about we're talking about he was center one. I still think he's center one. So let's go get Cedric Van Pran along this offensive line in Tennessee.
All right. And then Washington, we're heavy in the trenches here. Fashanu, doorless. My suggestion here would be Kalen King.
Corner, right?
Yeah, that would be my suggestion. If you like Quinion Mitchell, you can certainly go in that direction. But I kind of like Kalen King right here.
Yeah, we need a corner over there. Let's go get Kalen King for these boys.
All right, and Green Bay back on the clock here. So obviously Washington, Green Bay busy here in the second round early. Latu, Tyler Guyton. You got Kalen King with the previous pick. I think he might have been the selection had he been on the board here. Corner's a need, but where would you like to address for Green Bay?
Yeah, I like the young receivers. We got them to tackle opposite Tom. I think offensive side, they need a running back. They need
They
a
do.
running back.
But see, Brassy, yeah, Cooper Beebe's a guard at the next level. He is.
Yeah, definitely a guard.
Yeah.
You got Latu to go along the edge. Like Quay Walker playing good ball. I like Valentine. I like what Valentine's been doing over there in Green Bay. Uh, Jair got to get healthy.
Yeah, he does.
That guy he got to get healthy. I think they need a safety. I think Green Bay needs a safety.
They do. And Tyler Nubin's staring you in the face.
Yeah, let's go get Tyler Nubin for Minnesota. The instincts that he plays with. Love him in run defense also. I think he's a two-way safety.
All right. Vegas. Jared Verse was your first round selection here. Thought process here is that you're kicking Tyree Wilson inside and then Verse bookends Max Crosby. That's trouble. Tyree Wilson, he get off the ball. That might be trouble up front.
Yeah, that's a lot of guys up front. But we're gonna go to the quarterback position here, man. There's still the quarterbacks on the board. Let's go get JJ McCarthy, man. Let's go get JJ McCarthy here. Some people are gonna ask for Bo Nix.
Yeah.
But I'm a McCarthy guy, man. I'm not coming up off it. I know he wasn't showcased this last season. We really didn't see him, but I think he has the talent, the potential, and the upside. He can battle it out with Aiden O'Connell.
All right. The Falcons already have their quarterback here with Jaden Daniels. So what do you do for an encore? I think maybe you go get his guy. Go get his guy.
Receiver?
Brian Thomas. Yeah.
Yeah, I told you we're not passing.
I know, bro. I know what you say, bro. But
we're not passing.
You can't keep, bro. Arthur Smith ain't it, bro. He's not it, man.
Maybe it might be his last year. If he don't make the playoffs, he might get fired this year. We might go a different direction this year, man. But I think edge. I think edge is a need for these boys. Braswell, Sawyer. Oh, Leonard Taylor. Oh, yeah. Forget edge. Leonard Taylor's still on the board. He can get after the quarterback.
Yeah, DK. I like Brian Thomas too, man. I like Brian Thomas too. Now that you got a trigger man, you got Drake London, Kyle Pitts, add Brian Thomas, a guy who can actually stretch the field to that mix. Because you don't really have any receivers after Drake London.
No, that's it. All right, man. Let's do it. Y'all won, man. We're gonna pass the ball.
We twisted his arm. We twisted his arm.
We're gonna pass the ball. We got a new quarterback now, so we gonna pass the ball. We're gonna get this guy, Brian Thomas Jr., big, fast, tracks the ball really well down the field, man. He was the deep play threat over there in LSU this year for Jaden Daniels.
Absolutely. That connection was lethal this season. Philadelphia. So you went Peyton Wilson. Wilson in the first round. You're high on him. Certainly, I think it's a position of need. The question, the pushback will be, the value is linebacker, off-ball linebacker, something that you want to address in the first round. Of course, he has the injury history, but he's incredibly talented player. You're still in position to add a Patrick Paul here if you want to groom a tackle to replace Lane Johnson. And then your edges, not quite as deep, but some interesting, intriguing players here. What do you think? What direction you want to go in here with Philadelphia?
I'm thinking about going interior. Is interior kind of crazy? Jason Kelsey getting a little
interior of the offensive line.
Yeah, interior offensive line.
So Cam becomes your center.
Cam becomes my center.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You got Landon Dickerson at one guard, and I think Tyler Steen becomes your other guard, if I'm not mistaken. Unless you like somebody else more.
Steen's a guy that he could play guard, he could play tackle. He's very versatile. And after that, you really don't have any depth after that. You're counting on Tyler Steen, a second-year player, to come in, and we could make a competition over there. We could get another interior guy, make it a competition.
Okay.
They're more zone principles over here in Philly.
Yeah, I would say so. There's some wham, there's some gap schemes there too, but yeah, I would say they're more zone.
Man, let's go get Cooper Beebe. Let's go get nasty. Let's go get physical. Let's go get physical over there in the interior, man.
All right. D-Kit, last pick of the night for the Giants.
Penix.
Michael Penix. Oh, you got Washington. Hey, you might as well go ahead and get Jalen Pope, man. Let's make it three in a row. Make it three in a row.
I can't do it, man. Not with Troy Franklin on the board.
I get it.
But Franklin, Jalen Hyatt, he's gonna be the deep play guy,
Yes.
right?
Yes, he is.
He's gonna be the deep play guy. You got your slot right there in Wandale Robinson.
You could shore up this offensive line, bro. You could just button it up. You could.
Yeah,
I
because
think this is
Evan
an
Neal.
edge.
I give us the edge. All right, let's go to the edge. Let's go to the edge. You got your boy over there, Tips. You need somebody to run with Tips.
You did trade away Leonard Williams.
Yeah.
And you got some intriguing down linemen here.
So what's in? Oh, Leonard Taylor. I keep seeing that name. Yeah, Leonard. Might have to go interior. Put somebody next to Dexter Lawrence. Who's they like 3-tech? Who's their 3-tech over there?
They're are they more of an odd man front?
Are they? No, I think they run.
More even man front.
Yeah, I
DK.
think they run even.
DK said Michael Hall Jr.
That's what he want. Over Leonard. Okay, I ain't mad at it. I'm a big Michael Hall. I think both of those guys could rush from the interior. More 3-tech guys. Even Chris Jenkins. That's another guy that could do it also. But let's add a Michael. Let's go get Michael Hall Jr.
All right, Michael
Along the
Hall
interior.
Jr. it is. Pittsburgh. You went Nate Wiggins in the first round. I think it's a Patrick Paul pick. That's just my opinion.
Offensive line.
I think receiver is probably a position that they got to consider too, though, because I don't know.
We don't know what's going on with George Pickens and Deontay. Both of those guys. It's like
I don't know what's going on, man.
About the quarterback position, man. We out on Kenny Pickett. You still in on him?
Nah. I'm not ready to come up off of him.
Still on him?
Still on
him. Left tackle is a big position to need too. Is this a Patrick Paul?
I think you're moving Broderick Jones to left tackle, right?
So we need a right tackle then.
Well, I mean, or you leave Broderick Jones at right tackle.
Whether it's left or right, we need a guy.
you need a tackle. Yeah.
we need a tackle.
That's where I started. I started that tackle.
Yeah. I like the tackle position here for them. Patrick Paul. Yeah, let's go with Patrick Paul.
All right. New Orleans, Dallas Turner in the first round. Aging defense, aging down line there. Cam Jordan, obviously, not the same player, not the All-Pro he's been for several seasons here.
This might be the Bo Nix pick, bro.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, bro. I was just about to say that, man. Like you could probably bring in Bo Nix here, be the understudy, and give yourself a little something to look forward to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's go. Let's do it, man.
All right,
that quarterback.
Sounds like a pick. Buffalo. Braylon Trice, he went edge in the first round. I know the trenches keep calling your name as it pertains to Buffalo, but what are your thoughts about addressing the perimeter, whether it be corner or receiver?
I'm thinking more wide receiver over here in Buffalo.
Okay.
A guy on the outside. Maybe a Troy Franklin. Let's go get a Troy Franklin.
That's speed. That's Troy Franklin.
Yeah, let's stretch it. Let's stretch it.
Big arm quarterback. We'll launch it to Troy Franklin. I'm with it.
Even he's leaving, man. Troy Franklin is leaving.
Ibuka. Still on the board here. Houston. You went Josh Newton. Mock Draft doesn't love it, but we're high on the corner out of TCU. In the second round, what do you do here? Do you go to the interior? I think your boy Sheldon Rankins is going to be on his way out, right?
Yeah, Leonard Taylor. Ooh, Leonard Taylor, man. That makes perfect sense over there in Houston.
Yeah.
Tons of talent, tons of potential.
And I can see such a wide range in terms of where Taylor could get drafted, right? I think Taylor could get drafted at 20, or he could get drafted here at 50. You know what I'm saying? Just because of the way he was used and some of the inconsistency, but the talent obviously is there. So I like this a lot. I think he's going to do work in that particular scheme. Minnesota went JT. You addressed the edge position because, of course, you're thinking Danielle Hunter's on the move here. D-Kit is in agreement there with Leonard Taylor to the Texans. What's next for Minnesota?
What you think about? I think that he's a corner, but what you think about the first running back off the board? Where do you think the running back?
I think I picked like Benson for these boys in a mock draft a while back, bro. I think it's reasonable. I think it's reasonable.
To me, this running back class has been all over the place. We came in with a 5, our top 5, and now it's like a new top 5, and then
Right.
Jonathan
With
Brooks
like
got
four new
hurt.
names, in it, bro.
Yeah, the running back class is crazy.
Yeah.
I think right now, at this point, I think Travion Henderson is my RB1.
Okay.
He's been consistent. He was one of my guys that was in the top 5. I think I had Braylon Allen
Sure.
number 1.
Yeah.
But Braylon Allen with a new system didn't look
I
comfortable
think
over there.
I think all 3 of these guys were in your top 5, if I'm
Yep,
not
yep,
mistaken.
yep.
Yeah.
I think it was Allen, Henderson, then Benson.
Okay.
That was my original top 5.
Gotcha.
Jonathan Brooks is on here. Is he coming back or?
I don't know. I wouldn't. I don't expect him to. Actually, I do expect him to go back, considering the timing
got
of
the
the injury.
injury.
Yeah, I do expect him to go back.
Bucky Irvin's a nice guy late in the draft. Yeah, let's go get Travion.
And he does fit the mold, kid. I agree with you. But Henderson is the pick. It's Minnesota. Tampa Bay. You pair Cam Kitchens with Antoine Winfield. Of course, they got to get an extension done with Winfield. You talked about edge. Shaq Barrett getting older, longer in the tooth. Tryon isn't necessarily what they had hoped for. Hasn't necessarily developed into that just yet.
That power edge right there at the top. Chris Braswell.
You like
he's
Braswell?
A power edge.
Okay.
Jonah Ellis he's nice. Jonah Ellis is nice. We saw him at Utah. I know Drew likes ZTF. Gabriel Murphy is another nice guy over there. After the
off
first
ball.
Off-ball linebacker.
Levante's older.
Oh,
White.
Devin White has
interested in playing ball. Yeah.
That's true. Who you like, Trotter or Cooper?
I think Cooper is going to be more coveted because of the physical tools.
Yeah.
But I'm not mad at the Trotter pick either. I think his instincts, his football IQ, and I think he has the physicality as well that you're looking for. But I probably lean to Cooper. I think Cooper has a higher upside.
Let's go. Yeah, let's go Adrian Cooper then. Let's go Cooper.
We did it, D-Kit. Adrian Cooper. The Rams. Look at the Rams picking day 1 and day 2 for a change. Terry and Arnold in the first round.
I think
What's
they could.
Rams?
They could grab another. They could grab an edge to pair with Byron Young.
Okay. Like the Braswell, Sawyer,
yeah, more of a
Ellis.
Jonah Ellis, Braswell. We drafted him a corner. I'm looking at the offensive line right now.
Yeah, that left tackle position.
Left tackle.
Is a concern.
Yeah, I'm looking at the left tackle position. Let's see the tackles in this class. That's Blake Fisher, Benton, Javon, Jack Nelson. Your boy Zion, he coming out? He out now?
Nah. That man may end up medically retiring.
Man. Zach Zinter is a guard, right?
Guard at the next level. Yeah, he's a guard at the next level.
All over the place. Let me see the interior offensive line. Howard Johnson, Christian Hayes, Mahogany, Donovan Jackson. I don't think Jackson comes out. Well, we could go get that. Let me see, Jonah. You get that edge also. Free safety.
Have you watched Isaac just yet?
No, I haven't seen him yet. Penn State?
Yeah. Yeah, DK. I'm gonna wait. I want to see him in person. I want to see him in person.
He be a Senior Bowl?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to see him in person.
Yeah, I'm looking at
Foster.
Yeah, that Javon Foster. That was a big name coming into the year before last, but I just haven't heard much of him recently. I know you guys like Blake Fisher from Notre Dame. Jack Nelson. I did some work on Jack Nelson also.
I don't think you have to force the issue here. If you don't love a tackle here, I don't think you have to force the issue. I think you can go in a different direction.
Look at Braswell or Sawyer. Young is more the speed rusher. We could add a Braswell, a physical guy off the edge here for the Rams.
All right, let's do it. Jacksonville. You got a big target here in Keon Coleman for Trevor Lawrence.
Corner.
Yeah, I'm with you. Corner, absolutely.
Corner. Let's go get Quinyon. Let's go get Quinyon Mitchell, man. Show him some love.
Yeah. Cincinnati.
Jerzon.
I love this pick, bro. I love it.
Remember the days of who was the 3 tech over there we used to love?
Oh man.
Is it
Geno Atkins?
Geno Atkins.
Atkins, yeah.
Geno Atkins, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Let's go wide receiver, man. Let's go wide receiver here. You got Jamar Chase. No, Ibuka. I think Ibuka would be really nice for Joe Burrow. The timing, I think he can match well with him. Let's go Ibuka here for Cincinnati.
All right. You went Fuaga to the Colts in the first round. They're looking for a corner. I know. I expect them to bring Pittman back. Pittman has played really well. Josh Downs, obviously, you know how we feel about him. I think corners is probably the top of the list in terms of needs here.
Or wide receiver if you're looking for that third wide receiver. Oh, Brandon Fisk. Yeah, I like Fisk.
Worthy or Tez.
So either we go corner. I think corner is the bigger need.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go with the bigger need. Let's see. They run more zone principles. Who's up there? Is it Gus Bradley still? Am I mistaken? I'm tripping.
If I'm not mistaken, it is Bradley.
It is? Okay. So a lot of cover 3 zone. Yeah, it is Gus Bradley. They got Juju Brent / Kenny Moore. Yeah, man. Yeah, I think you're talking about more zone. Denzel Burke. I like Denzel Burke right here. I think he fits well in zone. I think TJ Tampa more of a man, beats you up at the line of scrimmage corner. So is Kellen Carson. I think they're similar in that way. So let's go get Denzel Burke for Indianapolis.
All right, Denzel Burke is the pick. I actually like Kellen Carson. Of those 3 corners, I think the guy that gives you the best of both worlds probably is Carson. But he has a pretty lengthy injury history as well. Cleveland.
Oh, their first
selection. Mm-hmm.
Their first pick over here. Wide receiver, right? Amari getting older.
Yeah, Seti Tillman, Elijah Moore.
Oh yeah, I like Seti Tillman. You think he?
Are you good at tackle? Are you good at tackle here in Cleveland? Offensive tackle.
Zedrick Willis. They still got him.
He struggled to stay healthy. He struggled to stay healthy. Is Conklin even the guy anymore?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Let me check out the depth chart for the Browns.
Dawan Jones. There you go, DK.
Oh, Dawan.
Dawan.
Yeah, Dawan's been balling. Yeah, you're right. So, the interior might need some work. We got Whitehurst, Joe Bittle, Ethan Pokick, offensive line.
Who's playing next to JOK?
Yeah, they need another linebacker. You're right. Right now they have Anthony Walker here. I'm looking at.
I'd take Trotter.
Sion Tiaki.
I like Trotter more than both those guys. And interior D line.
Davin Thompson and Jordan Elliott. They could use help on the interior.
Yeah, I agree. I like Chris Jenkins a lot.
Yeah, I think Chris Jenkins. I like Chris Jenkins too.
You want to go with Chris Jenkins?
Yeah, let's get some interior pass rushing. What Miles going to do on the outside. So yeah, let's go with Chris Jenkins.
All right. And in Kansas City, we addressed receiver in the first round. Perhaps we should have taken a tackle there. That's the question, right? In terms of the depth of the position. And then come back because obviously you still got quite a few receivers here that I think would immediately bolster that room. So what do you do here?
Yeah, Tackle still a position of need for these guys. We address the wide receiver position.
Go back to the well. Xavier Worthy.
Hey, this is a team that could do it though. If you want to add another receiver,
they could.
It's a team that could do it, bro.
I don't think it's a stretch. I don't really think it's a stretch. I mean, if I don't believe in forcing a tackle if you don't like one here. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in forcing the issue.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we could. Xavier Worthy with Adonai Mitchell, put them back together.
Yeah, get the Texas wideouts.
Hey, let's just do it, man. Let's see what the comment section say, man. We're gonna go back-to-back wide receivers over there in Kansas City.
All right, and Philly back on the clock. So Peyton Wilson in the first, Cooper Beebe. We expect him to compete there at the guard position. I expect him to win that out. And maybe Tyler Steen then becomes your tackle. Although I think there are some who feel like Tyler Steen belongs at guard as
Interior,
well. Yeah. But certainly, Beebe helps shore up the interior of the offensive line with Jason Kelce. Exit stage left. What do you think about edge here?
Yeah, Jack Sawyer, Jonah Ellis. You got ZTF, Gabriel Murphy
in the slot. Jalen McMillan. They've been trying to find that third receiver. That's true.
Yeah.
Running back would be, because I think Swift is in the last year of his deal.
But they never really draft running backs.
No, they don't.
They get a day 3
guy. They do not. But they don't take linebackers in the first round either. You know what I'm saying? So.
No.
But what do you think? Who would you target here among the edges?
I think Jonah Ellis has shown more. I know Zach Sawyer was a former 5-star prospect. ZTF, Gabriel Murphy. I like both of those guys also. Those are the guys I'm looking at edge right there. What's good on their safety position? They got Sidney Brown, Reed Blankenship, Bayard.
Yeah, I think Bayard is under contract for one more season. I don't hate the idea of addressing safety. I don't.
Yeah.
But I think if you're not going edge here, I think that the focus is best player available. That's my thought process.
Yeah. I like Kalen Bullock. I know the tackling is an issue for him. But corner, they got the 2 young corners, Ringo, Eli Ricks. TJ Tampa, physical, beats you up, Kellen Carson.
Can't have enough of these guys.
Yeah.
That's the thing. But again, my thought process is best player available.
You got Bullard, Jalen Polk. You looking for that third? Mason Smith. That's a guy. But I think he's more
rotation.
Zach Sawyer. Yeah, you got to make a decision, man. Let's try. Let's go Jonah Ellis, man. Let's show some love. The edge from Utah. Plays 110% tenacity all the time. Gets after the quarterback. Like you said, man. Like you said, you can never use enough corners. You can never use enough edge rushers. Also, they're getting thinner at edge rusher. Also, I know that they drafted Nolan Smith last year, but they're losing a few guys. Guys are getting a little older in the tooth. So, and like you said, Josh Sweat hasn't produced like he did the last season. So, let's go get Jonah Ellis.
All right, Lions got about 5 more selections here. Kamari Lassiter in the first round. Obviously, my thought process would be continue to bolster
that defense.
This defense.
I'm with you. Interior. I'm looking more interior for these guys. Mason Smith's a good player. Oh, that boy Byron Murphy. I was watching some tape for him from Texas, man. He's really nice also.
That's a big injury, D-Kid. Ali McNeil.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big injury. Tyleek, Nazir Stackhouse, they fit the bill in terms of big run stuffers.
Yeah. Say Tyleek and who? Oh, not Stackhouse from Georgia.
Stackhouse, yeah.
Go down some more.
But
Who's on the
Byron
Memphis?
Murphy might be the most. Byron
He's the guy that
Murphy,
can get to the passer.
yeah. I don't know that Tyler Davis and Rook that they really helped themselves this
Nah,
year.
they didn't. They
didn't,
were. I was a lot higher than them coming out
Yeah.
last year than this year. Tyler Davis is that 3 tech, could get after the passer. I think Rook has a little more physicality. Probably better in the run game.
Howard Croft, Keith Randolph. There's some good names here. It should be an edge.
Keith
They
Randolph,
gotta
Dwayne Carter.
Rutgers.
Yeah, Cameron Rucker. Oh yeah, he should have just went down some more, bro. Yeah, there's some good guys down there.
Shamar Turner, he's not coming out. I think he went to South Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they got a little updating to do. What you think? Byron Murphy?
Yeah, let's go get Byron Murphy, man. Let's go get Murphy.
Fist bites kneecaps. Yeah, you do need guys who bite kneecaps. Dallas.
The Cowboys.
All right, so you obviously address the offensive line, long-term replacement for their Tyron.
Yeah, I've been saying.
When I think about Dallas, I think who I like right here for Dallas. He may not necessarily fit the archetype as far as athleticism, but I think Trotter Jr. be a good fit here for them. Tommy Eichenberg too, depending on how if you want to shake something.
Yeah,
but, they got a big need here. They got a
second level. Yeah, and Cedric Gray's another good one too. Mm-hmm. I think that's 3 good off the ball linebackers for the Cowboys. Interior D line again,
and Mozzie, D-Kid.
Yeah,
those are the top 2 next year.
Mm-hmm.
Where you want to go here, Headley?
Let's go get a Jeremiah Trotter. Let's go get a Jeremiah Trotter Jr. For Clemson. That's some people's linebacker 1, so I think it's good value there for Dallas.
That's man. Fins up.
Fins up. I think with that Jalen Phillips injury, I'm not sure, when he's gonna be ready next season. We just scrolled down and seen a lot of guys that we like down here. So we could get one of these guys, man.
This is what they have for edges. Let me go back to the D line.
Yeah, they got a lot of guys out of place. Like Cameron Rucker, Dwayne Carter, Keith Randolph, Howard Cross, Birch, Mason Smith.
Oh no, bro! I feel like I
add more receivers to the room.
Tez Walker, bro. Just add Tez Walker, bro.
Fins needs speed.
You know what I'm saying? Let's go crazy with it. Still a lot of receivers out here, man.
Yeah.
A ton of them.
What about a tight end position for Miami? Got a Jatavian Sanders out there. But they like guys that can block, though. That's the thing with this offense.
They want an extension of the offensive line in terms of the tight end position. I think Sanders is a really intriguing player.
More pass catcher.
Yeah. But going back to the edge, man, what do you think?
I think they can use Gabriel Murphy in a lot of different ways. Edge, he can come inside, stand up. Yeah, he could do a lot of things. He's very versatile, man. Yeah, let's go get Gabriel Murphy, the twin, out there in UCLA.
San Francisco, Kingsley in the first round. Most of that offensive line.
Check out the roster. They see what they need on defense.
You want that safety? You're looking at that safety.
They need that safety, right?
Bullock, Javon Bullock, Kalen Bullock. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at they got Jair. Yeah, they can use another safety. Bullock. I like Bullock. I like Bullard, Armore. My guy's Cole Bishop, bro.
Yeah, I like Cole Bishop too.
And I don't think he comes out, but Jaden Hicks, he's not. No one's really talking about him. I think he's somewhere down there, but I don't think he's going to come out this season.
Yeah.
He might be way down there somewhere. There you go, 245.
DK, I actually like that name. I think he would be the guy if Miami went tight end there. Kate Stover would probably be the guy. Yeah.
Murphy's not coming out. The Twins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's go Cole Bishop. Let's go Cole Bishop, man. That's the safety we like over there at Utah. He's everywhere. He can play in the box, up high, come off the edge. He can do a lot of different things for that 49ers defense.
All right, and the last selection here again goes to the Ravens. Xavier Legette in the first round. That works out beautifully. That's your X, Lamar de Legette. I like corner here.
Yeah, I'm looking at corner.
Edge is an area that they may want to continue to try to bolster. Yeah. But TJ Tampa, Kalen Carson, I think they both should be part of the conversation here.
Yeah. I think Carson, his versatility over at Tampa, his hips get a little stiff. So I kind of like him in press man coverage. I think Carson, he could play off or press. So yeah, let's get Carson, man. I think he offers a little more versatility than TJ Tampa.
All right, that's gonna do it. So let's power through this real quick, man.
All right. Yeah, Deshaun, we drafted him already. Who is it? The Cardinals or the Rams? One of those two teams, maybe.
Yeah.
Cooper. He went West Coast. Cardinals, West Coast.
Mm-hmm. All right, Caleb Williams at the top, followed by Drake May, Marvin Harrison Jr. No big surprises here at the very top. Fashionable alt. I think maybe some might not necessarily agree with this selection, but I'm with you, Headley. Penix Jr., the third quarterback off the board. Like I said, as far as being able to kind of cut through that cold weather, he certainly is capable of it. And I think the mental toughness, I think people aren't necessarily putting that as part of the consideration as it relates to who's the third quarterback in this class. I know the flash and the excitement of Jaden Daniels obviously is alluring, but Penix Jr. and what he does when facing pressure, there's no quarterback that has faced pressure more in the Power Five than Michael Penix this year, and he's dealt with it very well. Jake checking in. He got a lot to Green Bay.
He fell a little bit.
Fell outside the top 10. First defender taken. Neighbors, Bowers, Adunze, pass catchers that we really love. Jaden Daniels. Headley gets Jaden Daniels to Atlanta. That's great on that fast track. We're gonna actually throw the football in Atlanta, believe it or not.
Yeah. That second pick.
Exactly. Then you started to run on defense here. So we have 6 straight defensive players here selected after Latu versus Turner, McKinstry, Chop Robinson, Nate Wiggins. You want to protect Kyler Murray. You're not a big fan of DJ Humphries. I don't think he's going anywhere, though. I think the contract, the way it's slated, I don't think he's going anywhere. But certainly by selecting J.C. Latham, if you have maybe a trade partner for Humphries, you can move Paris Johnson to left tackle. Braylon Trice. I think this may have been the highest he's gone in any of our mock drafts to this point. And as you mentioned, going forward, your typical 4-3 edge, I think it's a good fit from that perspective, certainly. Cam Kitchens, first safety off the board to the Bucs. JT, you're anticipating the loss of Danielle Hunter, so you want to replace him at edge. Terrion Arnold, he's one of the highest or the biggest draft risers throughout this season here. You think he fits in well for the Rams. The Rams need to improve their back end. Talisa Fuaga goes to the Colts. Keon Coleman to the Jags. Johnny Newton. This might be my favorite pick of the first round here. Yeah. Just the player, the scheme, the landing spot. We mentioned Geno Atkins. I don't know if he's quite as strong as Geno Atkins, because Geno Atkins was a bull, but I think this gives Newton the opportunity to actually play 3 technique. And if he does that, wherever he goes, he's going to be a problem. So love that selection. The receivers, it's been a problem in Kansas City, so you go to shore that up with Adonai Mitchell. Josh Newton, CPGM favorite corner here, one of CPGM's favorites. He finds his way into the first round of the Texans, followed by Lassiter. Peyton Wilson, This one surprised me a little bit. Not so much the position, because I've mocked linebackers to Philadelphia. I think it's the one position that it's kind of a glaring need. Whereas everywhere else you could certainly stand to improve, but off-ball linebacker is a glaring need for Philadelphia's defense. And you decided to go with Peyton Wilson. The skill set, the ability obviously is there. The concern here is going to be injuries, right? And then, of course, draft value as it relates to the position. Graham Barton, Amarius Mims, Kingsley, 3 offensive linemen here, and they're going to be probably going to play guys here for their respective teams. And Xavier Legette rounds out the first round. And like, I actually have Legette in my rankings over Keon Coleman. He's moved ahead of Keon Coleman for me. I think Keon Coleman is still in my top 5, but Legette, the size speed combination and the fact that he isn't necessarily just linear in terms of that speed is what gives me the edge there. We kind of pontificated about what we would do with Carolina to help Bryce Young, but I think we probably settled on the right approach. Let's protect him first. Let's kick Icky inside. I think that improves the interior of the offensive line. And then, of course, Morgan. I think he's going to be even better, right? This is his first year coming off of an injury. I think he's going to be even better next year. So Jordan Morgan is the pick here. That's the first selection for Carolina. Cooper DeJean slides into the second round, but the Cardinals aren't complaining. Malachi Corley, you wanted something a little different here, right?
Yeah, something dynamic.
May, wanted a dynamic piece here. And Corley, so I like it. You know what I mean? He can be an extension of your running game, and, of course, he can make plays once he has the ball in his hands. Brandon Dorless, I'm surprised he got out of your first round. I know that's your guy. Yeah. But, consider what the Commanders did as far as trading away Chase Young and Montez Sweat. Dorless comes in and immediately is a starter. Troy Fautanu lands to New York. This is a dream scenario here for D-Kit. And yes, D-Kit, appreciate you. Press the like button.
There you go.
You followed that up, Jake. Headley took care of you, man. Tyler Guyton in the second round, right? You know what I mean? You want to pair him up with Zach Tom, move off of Bakhtiari. I think I mentioned it last week. Bakhtiari has a $40 million cap hit next year. He's not going to be on the roster, bro. You just can't carry that kind of cap hit. Devondre Sweat, this is another, excellent fit here, right? As far as we know, the struggles the Chargers have had historically in terms of stopping the run. We like his ability to actually affect the pass. It may not necessarily result in a ton of sacks, but certainly affect the pass. So we want to rebuild this defense, and then Sweat certainly is a big step in the right direction. Van Pran, 40th overall here as you try to tool up on your offensive line in Tennessee. Kalen King to round out the selections for Washington. So, again, the last 2 picks here for Washington, bolstering the defense. Tyler Noob and Jake.
Green Bay, they doing work.
Hey, listen, doing work. Latu, Guyton, and Nubin? Yeah, man. Yeah, Green Bay should be very excited. You decided to go ahead and move forward with a rookie quarterback here for Vegas, right? So, of course, the top 4 go off in the first 10 picks. And then we waited, and J.J. McCarthy here lands 43rd overall to Vegas. We twisted your arm with this Falcons pick. Brian Thomas Jr., we're going to throw the football. We got a guy who can stretch the field. We got Jaden Daniels. We can't keep the Lamborghini in park, man. You got to put it in 6th gear. You understand what I'm saying? So Brian Thomas obviously could take the top off the defense. Nice compliment to Drake London. Real nice compliment to Drake London. Cooper Beebe, we talked about, okay, what's the contingency plan moving forward? Lane Johnson, has been battling injury. He's been playing through it, but we're not sure how much longer he's going to play. We don't expect Jason Kelce to be on this year. So there's going to be some changes in that starting 5 up front. You drop Cooper Beebe into the mix. I imagine he'll be one of those starting 5. Michael Hall Jr., D-Kit, get after it. Leonard Williams obviously was traded away. So Michael Hall Jr. comes in to play next to Dexter Lawrence, and he's going to get plenty of one-on-one opportunities there. Patrick Paul allows us to do any number of things, whether we want to move Broderick Jones to the left, keep him at right tackle. I think that shores up your tackle position long-term. Bo Nix, okay, as I mentioned, you're stuck with Derek Carr for the next season or 2, but Bo Nix does give you something to look forward to, right? I think based on what we've seen from Bo Nix in Oregon, the maturation, the development, he certainly could be as good as Derek Carr, right? I think that's kind of the floor for Bo Nix, to be honest with you. And I'm not necessarily a big Bo Nix guy, but I think the floor is Derek Carr. Troy Franklin to Buffalo. There's a need. There's a need at receiver, the speed, you know what I mean? Josh Allen, big arm, makes a ton of sense. What's going on with your boy Stephon Diggs, man? He disinterested?
I don't know.
They're running the ball now, right? They feature
Temperament.
James Cook now.
Oh yeah,
Right?
but that's you want to do that in Buffalo, especially getting into December, January.
Yes.
They're making a run, and it's no coincidence. It's because they're feeding James Cook more and running the
Yep.
football, man. You got to
Yep.
take a little pressure off of Josh Allen.
Absolutely. If they're going to present you with those light boxes, you got to be able to run the football, man. You understand what I'm saying? Leonard Taylor, another great fit. I love these D tackle landing spots, man. I love these D tackle landing spots because I think it puts these players in a position to do what they do best. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you don't want Johnny Newton necessarily playing in an odd man front. We've seen Leonard Taylor in the odd man front throughout his collegiate career. You want to kind of see him one gap and get upfield. You can have that opportunity here in Houston. First and only running back off the board here to Minnesota, Travion Henderson. Edrin Cooper comes in. I think he replaces Devin White and it certainly bolsters second level of the defense. Levante David, still a baller, but older. You understand what I'm saying? So that makes sense. Chris Braswell, you want to continue to add pieces to that Rams defense. I believe it was Terry and Arnold in the first round. You followed up with teammate Braswell. Quinyon Mitchell, the Jags defense has been really disappointing. Jags have been disappointing in general, right?
Yeah.
But that corner position certainly needs some help, and Mitchell fits the bill. Emeka Ibuka, you said that you like the pairing with Jamar Chase. Why? Why is that?
Yeah, it's not even, Jamar Chase, the outside receiver. I like the pairing with him and Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow is a timing quarterback, and I think Ibuka could work well in the slot, down the seams, and connect with Burrow.
All right, makes sense. Chris Jenkins, the one and only pick in this mock draft here for Cleveland, but they bolstered the interior of the defensive line, put him next to Dalvin Tomlinson. And of course, you got Myles Garrett. What's my guy name? Is it Ogbanaya?
Yeah.
Okoronkwo. It's Okoronkwo.
Oh, you're talking about the edge.
Yeah. So that's an impressive down line there. I like it a lot. We didn't like the tackle situation here, so we doubled up at receiver for Kansas City, man. You know, we had Adonai Mitchell, and we brought in his teammate Xavier Worthy, and I could see a scenario where those two guys flip. You know what I'm saying? Teams might prefer Worthy and then his dynamic speed over Mitchell, but I think either way, if Kansas City came away with those two players, then watch out. They're going to be very explosive once again. Jonah Ellis to the Eagles. Of course, we found a way to get that edge to continue to round out that rotation. You know what I mean? Keep those edges fresh so they can get after the quarterback. Love his work ethic. Byron Murphy is a stud. He's in a bit of a shadow there. It's a huge shadow that Devondre Sweat casts. But Byron Murphy is a really good player, so I like this pick a lot. Jeremiah Trotter makes perfect sense to Dallas in the second round. That's what they do. That's what Dallas does. They draft linebackers in the second round. Not expecting your boy back. His name's escaping me. Van Der Esch. Not expecting him back. There seems to be a growing hive to moving Michael Parsons back to linebacker, though, right? And this kind of picking your spots in terms of him rushing the passer. So it'll be interesting to see what Dallas does ultimately there. Gabriel Murphy wanted to add to the pass rush in Miami, and then safety. I thought maybe you might go Kalen Bullock here with San Francisco, keep it on the West Coast, but you decided to go with Cole Bishop, and I think he's a more complete safety. Cole Bishop is definitely more of a complete safety. And then finally, Kalen Carson to the Ravens again. I mean, I don't know how the Ravens do it, bro. There's always a good player that just kind of falls in their lap, bro. You know what I'm saying? And a guy who can contribute immediately. So nice work in this 2-round mock draft. All right, guys, take advantage of the Underdog Fantasy promo code here, CPGM, at 2x your first deposit up to $100. Check out that link in the description. Use the promo code CPGM. Jake, Mr. C. Prasky, Al Paul, D Kid, everybody who's tuned in this evening, we appreciate you guys. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend and Christmas, and we will see you next week, man. We're gonna try to get one more in here before the year ends. All right. So, guys, have a wonderful evening. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your Christmas. See you next time.